The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Tonight is the best night of the year. Can you dig it? Tonight, the spooky people will unite and walk the streets for candy and treats. Can you dig it? Tonight, we will overthrow the normalcy, bypass the politics. There are 3 million spooky kids to only 10,000 squares. Can you dig that, suckers? Tonight is our night. And tonight, we will be your company. Can you dig that? And now, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 327 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture, navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we also wish you a very happy Halloween.
Can you dig it?
I can dig it. Can you dig it, MZ?
I've already dug it.
What?
Aries, can you dig it?
No.
Of course. Raven Shadow can dig it. Where is he?
I think he's digging his hair out of the sun.
I hope everyone enjoyed the very special Halloween special. I've got some good feedback about it so far.
You did?
Yeah, most
What
of
people
which
say?
pretty much paints Aries as the anti-Claus.
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
By the way, we don't
What'd I
get
do?
You didn't play along?
Oh, you're just cranky.
Yeah, you're cranky.
I was cranky.
Yeah.
Oh, with the game. Yeah. Well, you changed the fucking rules.
I did not change the...
What? What's going on over here?
Oh God.
No. This better be worth it because he's going to miss out on his
Oh
intro.
my God! It's downtown John Constantine.
No, it's not. It's Fast Tony.
The same, one and the same,
That's right.
one and the same.
Oh, my Lord.
Fast Tony. You should have put a fucking pillow around your waist and been Fat Tony.
No, I'm the fastest Italian alive. Who's stirring the sauce? Me.
What makes you so fast?
I went there. Sauce is stirred. Now I'm here. Very exciting. That's right. Look at props.
It's gonna leave you fucking dangling. Wow.
You pull out a vibrator, I'm out of here.
No, I got some pumpkins.
Why does Fast Tony have a pumpkin?
Because I went to fucking,
Because he's a jack-off-a-lantern.
Oh, shit. What the hell is that?
I went to Pumpkin Land, went down to Mexico real quick. There you go. The Sugar Skull.
I'm going to kill myself, I think. This is
No.
going to be terrible.
No, this is nice.
Wolfie,
Yeah.
if I dive out that window, do you think I'll die?
I don't know if you can get through that window. I'm not saying anything about your size. It's a small window.
I just think of the Hutsucker proxy.
What the fuck is going on here? You got like a whole like.
Mr. Hudsucker, he's a nicer man. I give him a double
Yeah,
stitch.
you put coffee in that.
You drink water out of that fucking thing.
I am.
What is that?
It's in the spirit. It's a little skull handle.
Let
Did
me
you
see.
wash that first?
I know. It looks kind of dirty.
Hey, I hope you fucking watch that.
What? I smoke a pack a day. Is a dirty fucking glass gonna fucking kill me?
Yeah, yes, probably.
Yeah,
Is this
well,
from
being that
Savers?
if you didn't wash it, who knows what was touching
Yeah, you put the
inside
hip
of
in
that.
hepatitis.
Hip hopatimus.
I'm the
Get everything.
motherfucking hip-hop-a-dynamite.
Cheers.
My
My
lungs,
gonorrhea's
my
like.
lungs are black.
Pinky is up with that coin.
Did you shop at the 50-cent store?
You just got anthrax.
I hope so. Hope we get some Megadeth later on.
What is happening?
Well, it's Halloween. I got pumpkins. I got fucking water.
Right. Happy Halloween
Pumpkins
water.
and water. When
don't
you
even have
think
any
of
batteries in this
Halloween,
thing.
Yeah.
When you think of Halloween, you think of pumpkins and water.
You're supposed to put batteries in this
Yeah,
goddamn
you.
thing.
What the fuck?
It's-
You
it's-
spared no
it's-
expense.
It's not in the
Switch up-
budget.
There's
There's batteries in the
It's
other
a
room.
prop.
Well,
Well, it's a
well,
prop.
maybe you shouldn't have bought pizza with extra olives this time.
Oh, well, you know what?
Yeah, what's up, Raven Shadow? For the last 2 years, you've gotten the same pizza. You decided to mix it up tonight.
Well, as we discussed, since you had your awakening, I didn't want to.
My awakening.
Yeah, your transition. I
What?
didn't, no, when
His
no, it's you looking really good. You looking real buff, and I'm proud of you for your lifestyle choice.
If he's acting like this, about you eating meat, I'd hate to hear what he has to say about me fucking dudes.
Good for you.
Yeah, really.
It's exciting, but no, I didn't.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
I never
It
want.
all depends on where you are in the pile.
No, but I think you can understand that to be a gentleman, I don't want to tempt you. and
You're
get
not going to
something-
tempt me.
Well, I don't want to put that. I don't want to dangle that in front of you. So I
Hey.
figured I'd get a cheese.
Hey, you've been smoking around me since I quit smoking.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, well, I'm a fucking scorpion. I ain't gonna fucking change. But
So
So,
so you can't eat meat in front of me
Christ.
because
No,
you
I
don't want to
can't.
tempt me. But
no,
you
I
can.
can, but I don't want you to order meat for me. I wouldn't ask you to order me a pack of cigarettes.
you do know pepperoni is a meat, right?
No, I'm aware of the concept, but I think that I don't want Johnny to have to order it.
He
The
did order it.
concept.
But he said he would, and I took him up on his offer. But I'd ask you to buy me a beer, but I wouldn't ask you to buy me a pack of cigarettes
Why?
because I don't
What's
want
the
to tempt
difference?
him.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Well, you buy me cigarettes and you buy me some meat.
All right,
We'll see what happens.
All right, I see where he's going with this.
Thank
but
you.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It makes spider
Him
sense.
knowing
No.
where you're going is not that's not a good inroad.
No. I get what he's saying.
Right. I don't want.
Because he doesn't want to ask you to order meat on his pizza because it might tempt you to order.
But it's not going to tempt me.
But that's what I understand that. Apparently he doesn't, but I know what he's getting at. I talking to the mic. Shut
You
up.
weren't talking to the fucking mic. It was 3 feet away from you,
3
asshole.
feet.
See, we're
Yeah.
talking about me. He's getting upset.
I thought you were nearsighted. He's worse.
Wow. I don't know what that means.
You also your eye is covered, asshole.
Yeah, but my other eye isn't. I could see perfectly fine.
That's not your good eye.
It's exciting.
Well, it's Halloween, everyone. We got
Yeah.
Fast Tony.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, it's not like we're on a sugar rush or anything with all the candy we've eaten.
I ate a lot of candy
Yeah.
today. My feet, I can't even feel my feet.
Jesus Christ.
Gotta have
By my feet, I
diabetes.
mean anything below the waist. No, don't worry about it. Later on, I'm gonna try. Hey, stay out of that bag. I'm nervous when you start shuffling that bag.
Why?
I don't have any idea what's.
Or you get another costume change?
No, you don't fucking know.
Oh God!
Every
I wish
break
I-
for a different costume.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like fucking Madonna. You don't even know.
All right, before we get too derailed, as we
Madonna's
always
on time generally.
as we always do, let me just quickly run down what we're going to do this evening. So we're going to be talking about a film called The Dark, which was released by Dark Sky Films recently. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, and then later on, we'll just have sort of a informal conversation about Halloween costumes, some of our best and worst. I feel like we've done this already, but I don't know,
I think that this dude has to have another Bible or something in his. in
yeah,
his fucking,
yeah. You have to have something that's almost as bad as a Bible, but we don't talk about it because we talk about the Bible all the time. So we'll talk a little bit about that later on. I think we might have some feedback from some of our listeners about it. We'll see. But if you guys do want to still contribute, if you're listening to the live show, feel free to send, experiences with Halloween costumes, positive or negative, whether it's yours, someone else's, just something, some of your better costumes, some of your worst costumes, or other ones you've seen. They don't have to be yours, I guess. And send voice message or email to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And that email address works all the time. So if you don't send anything this week, want to send something next week, because we did have, I can't remember exactly who, I think it was our boy Donnie Davis, Dangerous Donnie Davis. He had said, he's like, oh crap, I missed the cutoff for the Halloween show. And so I told him just to send it anyways, because, would love to hear his VHS experiences. So if you guys ever have something you want to say and you don't get it on that particular episode, you can feel free to just send it to us anytime, and we'll play it. So that's what's up for tonight. That's what we're doing. We have MZ. Who are you dressed up as?
I am dressed up as Michele Sove's character in the movie Demons. Here's my Metropole ticket. For proof.
Let me show.
How'd you get that?
Well, it's actually really not an actual ticket, but a an advertisement for the cult collectibles on the other side.
Oh, nice. That's still pretty awesome, though.
Yeah,
Oh, it's your girl, Joretta.
that's right.
Metropole.
So
Awesome.
I've been passing these out. These are the last. This is the last one, and I'm keeping it.
Yeah, you should.
How did people do for trick or treaters? Anyone?
No, I had a bunch. I took off the shop tonight. I wanted to be at the house because I didn't want to incur any.
Is that a euphemism? You took off the shop?
No, I asked to be off tonight.
You need.
I didn't get paid.
So you get off?
How can I
No.
word this diplomatically? You need
What does he need?
one of two things: morphine or psychiatric help.
Yes. Yes and yes.
Why?
Because you're afraid if you weren't home, people would vandalize your house.
It's a real. No. Oh, it's yeah. But it's Halloween juju. I don't want to fuck up. And
You and your juju, man.
Yeah, you can't fuck around with it. There's certain
Yeah, you
things.
can.
Dude, you are too
Knock on wood.
Italian.
You're right. You're fucking right, Tin Face.
Bastoni.
You are right. I'm Bastoni.
And you look like two Irish guys, so
Yeah. That's you.
You look like one Irish guy. One angry Irish guy, but one.
Uh-oh.
Look at the look on his face.
He's not gonna podcast tonight.
Hey, why don't you? It's Halloween. Why don't you smile? So nobody know who you are.
I am smiling.
Right.
Shit. But no, I think it's a real thing. You don't want to leave the house dark during Halloween. You want to contribute. Isn't that the fucking movie, the Trick or Treat movie?
That's a movie.
Yeah,
You
well-
have to follow the traditions.
Right. Are you supporting me, or are you being condescending the way you do sometimes?
I'm informing you.
No, I'm informing. I'm informing them. I feel that you're supporting me.
No, I'm not supporting
You
you.
totally were.
I just don't think. I mean, I gave out a little bit of candy. I
Yeah.
couldn't be there the whole time because I had to be somewhere. But I don't know. According to KMC, we didn't have a lot.
Yeah, we had someone there though, but I was able to fulfill my Halloween.
So, if you just turn off your light, that's not good enough.
No, but that's bad juju, man. You don't even know. You can't fuck with that.
What if you have plans? You going to a concert or something?
I would have my mother come over and pass
MZ?
out candy.
And let
What about
her
all-
house take the
Yeah.
wrath?
No, because my old man's home. He don't know what to fucking
He's not
do.
gonna. He's not gonna. He's
He's
gonna.
gonna turn the lights off.
He's gonna be looking at porn on his phone,
That's
looking for
fair.
Trick or
Hey.
Treat Radio.
That's
So
fair.
MZ, did you get any trick or treaters?
Oh, no, probably not.
How do you know? No.
Weren't you
Because
home?
I live on the second floor of an apartment. They,
Yeah.
the door's locked downstairs.
Kids
They
know
don't-
where to stay away from that fucking.
So
house.
that would be a no. You didn't get any.
Yeah, that's what I said. No,
Don't go to Old Man Zero's house.
You
Yeah.
said you didn't think so.
I was being sarcastic. Of course, I knew.
Of course.
How could you not go out somewhere and make sure that the kids had candy? You missed the Halloween.
I'll get their candy next
Mr.
year.
Halloween.
I missed the Halloween. I'd lost money to come pass out to the kids.
It doesn't make you Mr. Halloween.
I am now because fucking I am.
You know, you can't take another title. You can't give yourself another title.
No, it was voted.
By who?
The people.
By me.
No, it's
You're
very exciting.
Halloween.
How much candy did you buy, Raven Shadow?
A couple of bags.
You got any left?
Yeah.
Did you bring it?
Prick.
That's why, because fucking you're rude. No, it was all peanut butter based. I didn't want to fucking tempt you.
You're not gonna. You're not
Believe
gonna
me.
tempt him. You're gonna kill him.
Yeah,
Well,
believe me, tempting is the last thing I'll be doing after a bag of peanut butter candy.
Well, no, I think I'm trying. I think
What
everyone's.
do you think happens? Can we see?
Yeah.
We'll save
You don't want to know what happens.
No, I do. That's why I said we'll save you.
I can tell you what. No, you can't save me. Believe me.
I got
you
an
have a-
The
epi.
only
you
way
a
you
shot?
can save me is by calling me an ambulance.
I got
You carry a shot, you needle?
I
That's
got
not going to do it.
I got an EpiPen.
The EpiPens. Yeah, it's not going to help.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it just blows right through it.
What if I jam it right in your anal flap?
I have a
you
big
gotta
pen.
lift his anal flap up
What
first.
the fuck
That-
is an anal flap?
Yeah, I got to speak on this for a sec. So, all right. So last week we opened the show with MZ talking about passwords, which that's sort of a normal MZ thing. But then we go into talking about anal flaps, and
No, we were talking about about Dynamo's
his
asshole.
petite asshole.
His allegedly petite asshole.
Yes, and then
I'm sorry, Mom.
and then MZ starts talking about his anal flap, and is surprised that no one else has one. And So it just so happens that last week was our most listened to episode on YouTube ever.
Anal flaps, yeah.
And you know the funny thing is, so we had in the first week we typically get about 100 listens on YouTube. We focus on the podcast, so that's our main focus. All the views on YouTube are public. It's public, so you can see it, but it is extra. It's like gravy. So we do the live show. We like doing the live show. We love having everyone involved in it, but the real thing is the podcast, but we just enjoy having the live element. So anyways, so we don't do like a big deal about promoting the hell out of it and stuff like that. But this past episode, as of right now, we have just under 1,000 listens or 1,000 views for that episode. And when I look at the metrics, because I can go to the analytics here, and let me just double check to see if it had changed. But I don't know if this was because it could be one of two things. It could be because I just started using hashtags on YouTube. It's sort of a new thing where the hashtags appear above the title of the video and helps people to find whatever content you're doing. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or the fact that Timo, the director of The Night Comes For Us, retweeted us last week, which was really awesome of him, and I guess he listened to it. We'll get to his tweet later on, because we'll talk about the tweets.
In 2018, did you just explain what hashtags do? And were you two assholes completely enthralled by it?
Well, I explained it's a new thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, hashtags are not new, but having them on YouTube above your video title is new. So that's what I was explaining. And so anyways, looking at the numbers, so out of those, listens or views, just under 1,000, 95% of them are from Indonesia. So
Wow.
welcome to our new Indonesian crowd.
Thank you, Indonesia. We should broadcast live from
We'll
Indonesia.
do a live show
Do a
from Indonesia,
yeah,
from
can't we
Jakarta.
do
We should
that?
go there.
Maybe Timo can hook us up. We'll go to
Yeah.
Jakarta and be in the next Timo film.
That'd be fucking awesome.
You can play Italian gangster.
I will be. Yeah. It's exciting.
You can get your brain smashed in by a pool cue.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should go to Indonesia.
Why not?
Is it scary over there?
Is it?
Is it scary?
I'd like to go. No, I wanted
I
to
don't
go
know, the-
Indonesian.
Aren't there bugs pretty big over there?
What are you fucking talking about?
What the fuck? Now I see, like, in real time, I see our Indonesian audience dropping off completely.
Oh, come on. You
No, I'll check that out. I got some earn time.
But I'll go.
I got some bird
They
time.
don't want you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But imagine, like, if this is someone in Indonesia's, like, exposure to American culture.
Right. That sucks.
Now they're going to think about, like, iPhones suck, like, never use a password because you'll never be able to figure out the security
Yeah,
questions.
they think we are fucking stupid.
Caucasians
American-
have ass flaps.
Americans have ass flaps, and they also have petite assholes.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
I
they
can't-
Also, and they also can't apparently pronounce everybody's name correctly in the movie either.
What? Here's the thing.
Are American names hard to say for people in other countries, do you think?
We
would
we
think
can't
so.
we can't move past this yet because I
Oh,
spent
go
the
ahead.
whole week thinking of the fact that Monster Zero casually just admitted that he had a deformity. Like that's not when people don't have that. Like that's like saying like, oh, you don't have web feet.
You don't got a horn?
You don't have a goiter on your spine. Like,
We all have deformities of some sort.
well, my hands are very small. I have small deformed hands.
All right. And then we got Raven Shadow.
What?
And then
That's all you got to say.
I don't got an ass flap, dude.
I don't know. If Aries has any deformities, I think we're all afraid kind of.
Second dick.
Second.
Yeah, I know. He's sitting next to you.
Wait, left to the right. Where's the check him on zero?
Here,
Look at the
here.
back.
So you realize that normal. Like, first of all, how did you find out you had an ass flap? A. B.
Wait.
He took selfies on it.
Yeah, you squat down, you put the
Honey,
phone
this
on
look
the
weird
floor,
to you?
and you kind of touch the phone with your toe, you know?
You're a weird
Oh,
fucking guy.
So we have
I'm not saying I do.
No, you said you did.
Yeah, that was just
Past
to help
tense.
the bit along.
Yeah, right.
we also
Past
have
tense.
Leanna hanging out with us.
Perfect.
She says, "Hey, actually,"
She's pretty excited about
she
that.
says, "Hey, I actually managed to make it. I'm back from getting candy, y'all, and have a voicemail with my review of Halloween 2018. Spoilers: it's my favorite Halloween sequel." She said, "I'm eating you, heathens," with all the anal flaps.
It's
And she says you all should review Satan's Slaves, the Indonesian movie on Shudder.
Oh shit! It's some fucking hits.
Let's do that.
Maybe we'll capitalize on our Indonesian audience.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go there.
I'll tell you what, we're not going to review The Witch in the Window because my kid said, "Fuck that movie."
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
It could have been better.
Oh shit! I forgot to put my 31. Fuck! I am so bad at this.
Oh, Paps is here, Mars.
Speak of the devil, and he appears in brimstone and cum.
What?
Wow.
Is that an episode title?
I don't know that we can put
No,
that.
it should not be an episode title.
Put it in the running.
So yeah,
Here
so
comes Kane.
Aries, who are you dressed as?
Brimstone and
Oh, Rick Rubin.
No, I'm myself from 3 days ago.
Only Mars will get this, I think. But Mars, I am. You got to look.
Oh, fuck.
I'm Bushi with his mask off.
Nice. Wow, you look your handsome, Bushi. That's my number one thing on my Christmas list for my
shirt?
family. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Wait, tell whoever's buying stuff for you that Pro Wrestling Tees Black Friday sale,
Okay.
like 30% off.
Nice.
So
I'm. What's good about it is that my nephew is into New Japan, so like I figured I could. They're all gonna have to fucking figure it out anyway. Because if it was just me, they'd be like, "Nope." I'd be like, "I want a T-shirt from this site that's not Amazon." Nope, Amazon. Just
yeah.
So I can't wait to talk about this movie. I'll be honest, but there's one thing I want to talk about first.
What?
From the Deadites, specifically from the great minds of Johnny Wolfenstein and Dynamo Mars, we concocted. What?
Well, I'm sorry, Mars. I just read the chat. Evil Corny says, "Do you see who Raven Shadow's dressed as?" And I could see the thought process. Paps is like, "Haha, no, but is that a tracksuit? Oh my God, is he Fast Tony?" Oh, I just get my fucking tooth on the mic. Oh shit. That's more physical effort than you've like done in
I'm fucking tired,
years.
John. I gotta fucking.
All right,
That's the
Mars,
stress test.
Sorry about that.
What was I even talking? Okay. From the great minds of the world's greatest producer and the world class hobo. I am the world class hobo. I'm the rail riding, Hershey
You're
Kiss stealing.
Homosexual.
Yeah, I am. Boxcar driving some of a bitch. But so but the
Under bridge sleeping.
so we have decided to do something awesome for you. We're going to leave it rocking and rolling to sunrise just in case you're one of the people that are listening live and you don't want to navigate. There are some free stuff. So if you have never heard the Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight, or you don't own Trick or Treat Radio's Greatest Hits, and by the way, I appreciate you three sharing this. It was nice.
I forgot to share it.
No, you did.
Did I?
Didn't you? Yeah, I think you did. Early.
Oh, okay. I might have.
I think we
I
shared
posted a
back to
few other
back
things.
early.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I did.
But you can now, as a Halloween treat, get the Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight, our critically acclaimed EP, and Trick or Treat Radio's Greatest Hits, as seen in Entertainment Weekly,
Volume
Rue
1.
Morgue, and the Blumhouse site. You can get both those things for free money, no money. Just follow our social media. I don't know that I've actually tweeted it out, so I'll do that. So
I think
know
you did because the Instagram's hooked up.
Oh, right. So, just, look on our social media and you guys get a link to those things. It's free.
Or if they're listening live, they can go to trickortreatradio.com
Oh, yeah.
/Happy Halloween.
Yeah. So, I think that
And right there, you click on the image, and it'll bring you right to our Dropbox. You can download it for free.
I am proud of 50% of that EP, so it's definitely worth getting.
Well, I'm proud of 100% of it.
Well, it sounds great. It's just I sing too much on it. I'll fix that next time. But it's got the best song I've ever written on it. I will be honest. I was struggling today because, inside baseball, Johnny and I usually put together two greatest hits at the same time.
I actually, speaking of which, I was actually, when I was uploading that, I realized that there is Volume 4 already has like a few things on it.
Right.
So
So-
I had like 6 things in there. So we just need to pad it out. And I've
Yeah.
actually been taking some notes about some other ones that we could
Yeah,
do.
yeah. So at the end of the day,
So maybe for
and
the
there's still
holidays.
something on there that we didn't end up using because I messed up the timestamps. So my favorite thing has missed the last bunch. So we still got to get that on there. It's real short too. It involves this Jamoke. But
Big surprise.
and Tiny, my least and most favorite host. But the so it's there it is. So you guys can get on the internet right now and share it if you'd be so kind. Tin Face and Fast.
Or even people listening. If people are listening live and they want to share it, you can go ahead and share it with your network, whether whatever social media you like to use. trickortreatradio.com/Happy Halloween.
And all of our podcast brethren were very gracious of allowing me to spam their group. So it was I hope that you enjoy it. It's I am I'm very proud of both legs of our media calamity. So definitely check it out. We wanted to do a little something for you. Maybe next year I think it's a tradition, and I think that I want to kick it off with a bang. And if you guys like it, maybe we'll do something even a little more special next year. So
yeah, maybe we can do like a song specifically for it. I don't know.
We've got a song and a cover on deck, but we decided that we probably can't record the cover under the circumstances right now.
Yeah.
And because I don't want to get a restraining order. And we also have a song that like I'm pretty into right now, like that we just gotta kind of get the like I even have a music idea for it all set. So this will be probably the most I've ever done for a song. The reverse of the attic, if you will, because this I'll even have some say in the music. It's called "Hello, Mr. Mothman." So it's a very
Did you find your list of
no
song titles? No.
just the one that
Exorcism Gun.
yeah, Exorcism Gun, and the one that we can't talk about. So
Yeah.
so I think I talked about it on the air on the Halloween show anyway. So whatever.
So yeah, we'll talk about that real quick. Our extra special Halloween special dropped on the podcast feeds this morning, and we recorded it a few days ago. It was the rare show in which we don't actually broadcast it live. So we do 2 specials a year, every year. That's not including the Star Wars ones; those are special events. But we do 2 specials every year. We do the Halloween episode, which drops on Halloween Day, and then we also do the year-end show, which drops on New Year's Day.
Yeah. Hey, Raven Shadow.
Yes.
You do realize that you are on the Greatest Hits 1. I'm just trying to make you care about it.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I have it. Well, yeah, I get anxiety.
You get anxiety. You always say that. Yep.
'Cause I don't know
We
what
get
to
it.
write. It's like a birthday card. I'm not sure. Like, do I
Just
say
Just
you know
say-
what? Just post the link.
I
That's
can't
all you
do
gotta do.
Well,
Alright.
the way his thing is set up, that's
He
fairly...
posted to himself.
No, it's not just that. It's fairly ineffectual because for some reason just the thumbnail comes up.
Right.
So if you don't know what the fuck that is, you're not going to know what the fuck that is.
So
Just say, hey, the podcast I'm on and the band I'm affiliated with is giving free stuff. Happy Halloween.
Bitches.
Yeah.
I can't say that. But
Why?
then, well, you'll yell at me too.
Oh, speaking of things you can't say,
Fuck.
MZ,
Yeah.
your mother requested to be added to the Trick or Treat Radio group.
No.
I haven't approved it
Are
yet.
you shitting me? Are you serious?
I'm not. I'm serious.
Do it right. I'm doing it
No,
right
no,
now.
fuck that.
Call
shit.
her. Get her on the
No, absolutely not. No.
Knock it off. Here you go. How you like it?
Knock it off. I bang on the door. Bullshit. I'll get a kick in the ass. That ain't happening. No way.
Wow.
You didn't do it, did you?
No, I didn't. I'm
Man,
telling. Look,
if
look,
only I was an admin.
you are an admin.
Oh, wait. I am, aren't I? Wow, I could sure use a
Why?
foot...
Why would your mom want to be in this
I
group?
could sure use a
Probably
foot
because
rub.
because I'm on it. But
Oh wait,
What?
maybe she pulled it because I don't see it anymore. Unless someone let her in. Did you?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Oh, was I not supposed to blindly approve people?
Oh shit, Ayers is an
You're-
admin.
No, yours is not an admin. I can make him mad.
Tiny might have.
Let me look at the admin
Oh,
activity and see.
The look of fear in his face, though.
That's outrageous.
yeah, because I could look. Because you'd be able to tell who accepted that person into the group. So
Wow. How about that?
Yeah, no, it's gone.
maybe she's listening. And I said no.
She might have canceled it.
That's what it is.
I think you can cancel invites, can't you? Because it was a few days ago, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, I better ask MZ about this."
Man,
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
About I don't know if we need Mother Zero in there.
yeah.
I wouldn't care if my family was in there. I'm not ashamed of anything I do.
Yeah, I don't see it anymore. So
Why are you guys so ashamed of what you do?
I'm not ashamed of anything that I do.
Then why don't you want your mom in there?
Because it's my mom, you dick.
Yeah, but that's
What
that's,
part of that don't you get?
That's the definition of ashamed. If you don't care, then you wouldn't care who was in there.
Look,
Yeah.
I don't care
Mm-hmm.
if I know that I'm not going to hear anything from her later on.
Man, you spend your life in fear of people.
do you guys want to see Leanna's costume?
Yes.
That's her in the middle, right over there.
Really?
It's pretty good,
cool.
huh?
That's awesome.
That is cool.
I can't see it too good, but
I'm
no,
not worried
I
about it.
don't have glasses on, so
Very cool. We got
I'm
a
sure
little,
it's awesome.
We got a little.
She says something I made up using a scarecrow mask, an old-fashioned nightgown, a sacrificial dagger, and bloody plastic heart.
I dig it. I dig it.
That is cool. I like that.
Corny's telling me to add your mom.
Yeah.
I don't see her her
Screw you,
her
corny.
thing anymore.
Make
So
Coney an ad.
she must.
Maybe yeah.
Then everyone's moms will get
Yeah,
added.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, see, now here it is. She doesn't want to be in Trick or Treat Radio, but now she just friended me on Tinder.
Ooh. If she wants to stay someplace next year at Rocket Show.
Oh my God.
The Rayward Chateau.
Ooh.
Sexy speakeasy
We'll have some new things.
all night long.
That's
2019.
gonna be like I can picture that like a Harlequin novel cover. Fast Tony and the Lunch Lady.
It'd be sexy, right?
Fastonian lunch.
I'd have like
lady.
the tray. My hair be blowing in the wind. Some little shepherd's pie. in
She
the back.
wanted marriage.
Oh,
She-
shepherd's pie.
She wanted marriage. He gave marinara. Wow, that's a terrible cliche. I'm sorry.
That's wow. Yeah.
And Leanna says that's her real hair.
Really?
Yep.
Will you keep it in your fucking track?
No, I'm
sir?
saying it's exciting.
Oh, listen to him all of a sudden.
What?
You.
Really? Do you want us to go down that hole right now?
Yeah.
No.
And use that.
Talking to the
Euphemism
fucking
language.
mic. Jesus Christ! You're looking-
I'm right here.
You know, you were like 2
Oh,
feet away,
suck
turned to
my
the
ass,
side, you
hippie.
asshole.
my mother in.
I'm gonna fucking invite your mother.
Oh, suck my ass, hippie.
No, I don't want to touch the anal flap.
That's the part
fucking
you're worried
gross.
about.
That's the deal breaker?
Well, it's like the fucking barrier to it. So
Like a fucking dental dam, but reverse.
dental dam.
All right,
in
let's go to
reverse.
break. This is getting dangerous.
We're sorry, Indonesia.
Oh man.
It's Halloween. I think we can all agree on that.
Yes, you're right. It is Halloween. I think we can all agree on that.
You fucking asshole.
So I guess we'll do some Halloween intros. Raven Shadow, I can't believe you're drinking out of the fucking thing. You didn't clean it.
I know. You could see
It's
stains.
fucking gross.
You
I
could
did
see
clean it.
stains in it and shit.
You probably
No,
didn't know.
I did clean. I washed it before. I washed it. I did some dishes beforehand.
I
when
don't
the kids
believe
were
you
gone.
because I pulled a string off of it.
Yeah. What'd you do? Wash it with your ass?
He washed you
Hey,
with your
how is
anal
that
flap.
possible? Yeah, yeah. I dunked some flaps in. America runs on fucking anal flaps. Fucking weirdo. No, I pulled the thing off and I rinsed it
You
out.
talking to the mic now?
I am in the mic.
He is in the mic.
No, he was talking off the side.
Dude, you are off the fucking rails with this whole thing.
I'm loving this tonight.
I
Johnny's on
love this.
fire.
I love this. I pass out.
Yeah.
And these
Oh,
two
here we
dick
go
noses
again.
Don't see shit.
Here we go again.
You, or me,
You're never gonna
or
fucking
anyone else.
let
We're like
this
2
go.
inches away from the microphone, and he starts
Right.
freaking out.
Hey,
Thank you.
If you passed out into the microphone, someone would have noticed.
Maybe so. Good point. Good
Yeah.
point.
Next time, do that.
Yeah, next time bob your head on the fucking mic, then John will call 911.
Yeah.
But until then,
Jesus.
I don't give a fuck.
you don't give a
Fucking-
fuck.
This fucking hippie gets his nips and a snit over a fucking
Nips and a snit.
over.
My name is
over
Milton.
The voice being away from a microphone for like 2 inches.
My name's Milton, and I don't give a fuck.
Wowzers.
You guys like that callback?
That's nice.
Do you know?
we
what
gotta
it
watch
was?
that movie again.
Yeah.
I don't.
The El Santo movie. Remember the
Yeah.
My name is Milton, and I don't give a fuck.
Oh, hey.
What
The
the hell?
subtitle
Which,
with the kid
which
dancing?
one was that?
Oh.
I forget.
Evil Corny says, "Is that Al Cool's glass? That Fast Tony's
It
using?"
is, yeah. We're doing all kinds of cross promotion tonight. This is what
Oh shit! I wish Al Cool was here.
we started playing again.
He started planning again.
Playing again.
Playing.
Yeah, we gamed last Thursday.
You
It was
gamed
nice.
the
It was
yeah. You
gamed,
gamed
yeah.
the system.
Yeah, it's crazy. We got some there's some crazy stuff going on. There's some like Parisian ICE agents that are systematically attacking the Draculas who are part of the Embraced. It's crazy.
What the hell are
What
you
the
talking
hell?
about?
What?
Yeah, you want to play?
No.
You can't.
Play what? I zoned out for like 5 seconds. What the fuck just
ICE
happened?
Agents.
Yeah.
They're going after the fucking Draculas.
Oh man, they're fucking running amok.
Hey, I got-
we think the prince is involved. We don't even fucking know.
I got an idea that
Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
I got an idea I want to run by you guys.
WWE's still going to do a show
In,
there
um,
anyways.
But not John Cena and
I'll spring it on you. Yeah, what do you guys think about
Daniel Bryan.
in 2019 doing a? And we don't have to like. I won't talk about the technique, but it's not as time consuming as you maybe think because we can split it up if you will. But doing a like a once a month playthrough show.
Once a month playthrough of what?
The Dynamo's game
Oh.
called Fan Fiction.
No.
Why?
Aries said no. Why?
You write down the rules.
oh shit.
It's an,
Oh,
fucking guy.
He's going after the rules.
it's an
You
RPG.
write the rules down.
It's an RPG, and I would be the dungeon master, so I
You
make the
write
rules.
the rules down.
I'd be the dungeon master.
Yeah.
Then you shake your head no. Then look at this. I'm shaking my no.
Well, that's okay because I think Ledger wants to play, so he doesn't.
Okay, that's
He
fine. You
won't
can have my
pass.
seat for that.
Well, I don't think he'll come all the way here for it, but it'll be fun.
Also dropped today was our Halloween show, and you can hear Aries get mad and learn how much he likes rules.
Right.
Or how he gets mad and doesn't want to play along.
Yep.
Right.
So on the Halloween episode, it was the 7th annual extra special Halloween special, dropped today on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher and Spotify, Google Play, Satchel Podcast Player. And Dynamo whipped together,
Yep.
literally, in a car ride here, 13 questions, or 14, depending on who you ask. And so Dynamo did his best. What's a good game show host name? Wink Martindale?
Now he's a game show producer.
Oh,
I don't know, Groucho Marx.
sure. Some MZ, you know fucking game
That's
show
my
hosts.
favorite game
Yeah.
show host.
Name one.
Well, there's Wink Martindale, Bob Eubanks.
One, just one. It's fine. Stop.
Fucking the fucking guy
know,
with the fucking
stop.
price.
Stop. He said one. Move on.
Vincent Price, right?
Fucking
You know, Chuck Woolery.
Chuck
or,
Woolery, I
his
like that
fucking
one.
name.
Happy
Happy Gilmore.
Bob
Bob
Barker.
Barker.
Thank you.
Bill Dobson or
Price is wrong, bitch.
you know, yeah, Bob Barker or
Fucking Double Dare.
You bet your
Groucho
life.
Marx.
Mark Summers.
Mark Summers.
Summers.
Groucho
I
Marx,
met
Mark
Mark
The
Summers.
third Summers brother.
Me and
Yeah.
Tiny like met Mark Summers, and he doesn't remember. How
Mark
broke
Summers?
is that fucking?
He meets a lot of
Mark
people.
Why would
Summers
Mark
doesn't
Summers
remember you?
Yeah.
Peter Tamarkin.
Well, who else? We were the only adults in Double Dare, and one of us had a hockey mask on. I feel like we probably stood out.
Peter Tamarkin. He's the one who did Press Your Luck.
Yep, no whammies, baby.
Yep.
So,
I will say
so Mars
that-
did his best, Bob Eubanks.
Yep.
And the rest of us were the contestants. And it got close. It was a close finish. Someone won by 1 point.
I mean, there was some bullshit fucking
Well, according to you.
questions, but no, it was a very good game. I think Dynamo did a really good job.
Thank you,
I
thank
think
you.
I applaud it, and I was very much.
You got
enjoyed it.
a question right like decisively.
I fucking owned that question.
Yep.
There should have been bonus points.
There was.
There was.
You didn't get any.
Well, they weren't to me.
You
So-
actually lost points at one point and got disqualified for cheating.
I didn't,
Yeah,
no, because Aries
yeah.
Aries is a fucking narc, dude. He's
Wow.
Fucking, yeah, he's a fucking like the police up in here. You are. You become establishment.
Yeah.
Used to be anti-establishment. Now
He's
you're
come around full circle.
Yeah, he's like.
Well, you know what? I become a fucking adult.
Oh shit! Fucking yeah. Make fucking Forest great again, Aries. There you go.
What? You just call me Forrest Gump?
Smokey.
Yeah. We got Woodsy the Owl over here getting all bent out of shape.
If I have a question, if an Aries is mad in the woods and no one's there, does anybody hear it?
Yes.
Probably. He
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
yell-
yeah.
yells
Oh, yeah.
loud enough.
He's gonna punch a tree.
Is that like punching a wolf?
Yeah. It's gonna be a
All
good
right,
show.
we should probably wrap this shit
If I
out.
go home, I can watch Trick or Treat before I go to bed.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a couple of beers in me.
Did you drink them or just shove them up your anal?
Maybe make sure to move that flap first.
Yeah.
I hope
No,
you don't
you-
have a petite asshole.
That's what he's doing.
Well, I mean, I'm fucking. I got a pretty nice fucking ass, dude.
he's oh God
You have
damn
no
it.
ass.
I
Now
have
I've
a
heard
fucking-
it all.
No, you
Oh,
have no
boy.
ass.
I did not just hear that.
Do you want to see? I'm wearing my fucking tracksuit.
You're you are so bony.
His pants got the mumps.
No, listen. No, I have a very petite.
Listen, first of all, from the waist down, I'm perfect. Second of all,
So you say.
right?
perfectly
Second of
small.
all, right? Well, I'm not saying there's anything big there. I'm just saying it all functions properly.
Oh, good for you. So
but
does
I do
everyone
have
else.
nice
No,
legs.
your
and a
ass
nice,
doesn't function
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah,
no.
well, fair,
Actually,
but it looks good.
It overfunctions.
Yeah.
Actually.
I got the ass of a 12-year-old boy. Make it stand up and shout.
Well, don't walk in front of any churches then.
You're too skinny. You're not like I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people like
You
that.
got
Nobody
nothing
likes
on
that.
You
You
that
you
could-
know you've been in the room.
You'd be like fucking a Ray Harryhausen movie.
Dude, you got absolutely nothing on you that any woman would ever want.
Whoa!
Really?
Says the
really,
guy
yeah,
who
really.
has nothing that any woman will
I have
want.
to-
Hey, at least I can admit it.
Really?
I have the feeling
I
that
know
Raven
I'm a
Shadow would be.
disaster.
I have the feeling that Raven Shadow would like be going at it, and then he'd kip up and go, "What's this? What's this? I'm doing sex around. What's this? What's this? I think that I might miss. What's this? What's this? I have been told the wrong hole, and I've done a lot of things that I shouldn't. What's this? I'm."
Oh shit! FTM has a legit question here. Is
Thank you.
MZ's mask made out of Art Bradish wrappers?
Yes, it is. It smells like chili too.
If that's the case, you're gonna fucking look like a scene in Demons when you take that
Yeah,
thing
when you
off.
take it off, it's fucking grease
You're
has
gonna-
melted your flesh.
You're gonna look like the little girl in the movie we watched today.
Evil Corny says I gave Mars a diagnosis of his furnace.
I'm
It's
telling
true.
Is that a euphemism?
I don't know, but I didn't. I looked at it some. I'm too worried to look because I'm afraid the diagnosis is it's fucked and it's gonna cost me $10 million.
I'm telling you, next year,
Oh,
next
shit.
year's costume's gonna be even better.
You
Oh,
got to do
wait.
Nick Cage from Mandy. Socks and underwear and a tiger T-shirt.
All due respect to Corny, but he doesn't have heat. He's in Alabama.
He doesn't need heat.
That's what Corny does for a job. He fixes.
Yeah, he
Fixes-
works with the
fixes heaters?
HVAC.
Yeah.
HVAC.
Well, I can definitely picture the air conditioning aspect of it, but the heaters.
It gets cold there.
Yeah, it was 70 yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Julie
right.
Julie Meow Meow told me it's cold sometime. It
did
snowed
work.
one day.
Do you blush when you talk to her?
I want to talk to you about what I talk about. You really.
I don't want to know what you talk about. I
Yeah.
just ask if you blush.
Yeah, no. You and
You
I are
blush when you
friends.
talk about her. So
Yeah.
You and I,
right now.
you and I aren't friends in that regards because you've become like the international cock block cartel.
A
Me?
lot of fucking knocks and cock
You
blocks.
keep-
It's true, 100% true. Now, first off,
Wait, Narc.
we have the
Yeah.
we have the world's. I'm doing Halloween intros.
Thank
we have
you.
the world's spookiest producer, the voice of God, the greatest of all time, Jonas. Don't call me Johnny Wolfenstein. Next up, he's got tinfoil on his face, and he's a complete fucking disgrace. Drop the zero and get with the hero. It's Monster Zero.
Hello, everybody. Want to go to a
Oh,
movie?
wait. This is your freebie. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. Your freebie. Say
Next
whatever you
up-
want.
Oh, freebie.
Next up, this guy is one hell of a furnace fixer. He's a nice guy, and he's got a tremendous beard.
I
and
just
he's
said
much
it's
bigger
your
than me.
freebie.
Well,
Come
I
on.
don't know. I don't know. I don't believe you.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah, it's
remember.
a trap.
His
yeah.
fingers are crossed.
I got a lot of freebies in wrestling, and you just stood there and body slammed me after. But anyway, he is one hell of a guy. He's the only human being on Earth older than me. His beard is very long, and I'm afraid of him. Ladies and gentlemen, America's sweetheart, Aries God
You had
of
a
War.
fucking freebie, man.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a nice guy. Next up, he's drinking out of a dirty glass and claims he has a nice ass. His cigarette body smells like an old boot when he walked in here in a tracksuit. He's got his own headphones. If you walk by the haunted speakeasy, you only hear one moan. Ladies and gentlemen,
That's good.
he is the comic book reading, date deprived,
Oh, basement dwelling.
basement dwelling, smoke machine for Castle Wolfenstein.
Not for me.
Yeah. He will not do the last temptation of Wolfenstein and bring a burger in here. Michael, one half of the world's dopest tag team,
Thank you.
Raven Shadow. Fast
Oh,
Tony.
would you sit the fuck down?
I'm running.
Oh, and
What are
then
you
there's
running from?
No, running to the store because he's out of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Aries, you want to do my intro then?
No, because I'm not as well spoken as you are.
Wow, it's your fucking freebie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a free
I
game.
pick on him all the time.
Yeah, but come on, get it out there, whip it out, whip it out. Yeah.
Wrench it up, wrench it off.
There's a fucking duck boat coming your way.
Duck boat.
Duck boat, yeah.
I feel like it would look like olive loaf.
I'm
right.
actually fascinated.
Raven
by it,
Shadow.
yes.
You can do my intro.
He is the meatball shilling, big belly filling, Irish stocking cap wearing,
To walking.
Monsters Ears feeling he ain't caring. He is the singer, the swinger, the downright one with all the zingers. He is Dynamo Susan Mars.
Thank you very much.
You said an R. I'm proud
That's
of you.
pretty good, yeah.
Wow.
I was up the cup, baby.
Speaking of that,
I could tell.
when I was doing the video yesterday for the announcement for the free thing, I definitely almost got fucking hit by a car like that kid in the movie today. Like, it was close.
Oh, yeah.
It was close. Like, knees touched bumper. It was bad.
All right, so I think we're going to wrap this fucking shit up.
Yeah, remember children?
This intro. No, not the show. The intro. All right.
Put on Halloween and watch it. That should be the show.
Halloween?
Yeah, everybody put on their copy of Halloween, and we'll do a commentary live. That'll be the show.
Yeah.
I think
know
that
what's-
he fell asleep.
You know what's funny?
He passed out.
I actually did fall asleep watching Halloween because Shudder's playing it 24-hour
See?
loop.
Oh, are they?
And I went to bed last night, and it was the scene where Michael like drives by, and then where they're walking, and Laurie Strode keeps seeing Michael.
Spoiler alert.
And if you haven't seen it, it's Jesus
Is he
Christ,
the
it's
only
fucking
slasher
40.
that drives?
It might be.
Have you seen it?
Like
Wow,
Freddy
there
Krueger
is a-
turned
yeah.
into a
You
cop.
have. Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right.
Because, and then I woke up, and it was at the same exact
Isn't
fucking
that
point.
weird?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously slept like an even amount of time, so it was either like six, I think it was like 4 or 6
Oh,
hours. I don't
know what I wanted to tell you guys real quick? I did post about it, like, as soon as it happened, right? So, you know why I'm, like, all fucked up on my, like, movie posting and everything? I sat down at my desk Monday, I think it was, to make sure that I had, like, all the files I might need if I have to end up, if Johnny wasn't available to help me make this thing happen. At 8 o'clock, right? Turned the Mac on, reached over to turn off, because my Mac is so broken and slow, I have to stop certain programs from starting so it will, like, not slow it down, right? Reached over to stop Firefox from loading. Boom, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I fucking fell asleep right at my desk. Like, just fucking, like, it was crazy. And I had the fucking worst dreams that I've ever had in my life. They involved high school and girls that were mean to me. And my cat was lost in the school.
Oh, that's not.
It's the second weirdest dream I've ever had. It's almost as weird as the dream that I had where video game Jason was chasing me. But yeah, no, it's like weird. Like, that's probably the most abruptly that I've ever fallen asleep, and the longest that I've ever slept. Like, in a, like, I've got, like, not even a comfortable, like, desk chair. I've got, like, an old fucking throne, like, with metal, with wooden, like, armrests and stuff. So
Yeah.
That's a smoking Thai salmon right
Oh
there.
my God, it's horrifying.
All right, so let's wrap this up. If you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. Head over to trickortreatradio.com. While you're grabbing your free Trick or Treat Radio Greatest Hits Volume 1 and your Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight, why don't you go to the front page afterwards, and then from there, scroll down, see Amazon logo, click on it. It's going to bring you right to Amazon. It's going to put our affiliate link in there, and everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it helps keep the lights on.
That's right. So if you guys shop on Amazon anyways, I know the holidays are coming up. I don't know if we're going to do a contest. We'll see, but
I hope we got to do a fundraiser because I canceled another one.
well, we were going to do a fundraiser in October, but there's just so much going on that I didn't think we would have been able to give it the attention it deserved. So we'll see. We have some things planned that if we do a fundraiser, it's going to be for, because I mean, we don't really have plans, but I guess we'll just mention it now. We want to finish strong for Darkness for Light for the year, Mars, right? Yeah. Is it calendar year or is it
it's supposed to be March to March.
Oh, okay, I see.
The new person will be picked at March, but the kickoff might be closer to April because the rug got pulled out a little bit under me because I don't know. It's hard to book a show at a club that I don't know if it exists anymore.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
And I do, I mean, the other part of Darkness for Light owns that club, so.
Yeah. So, there's still some stuff to be determined, but we might do a fundraiser towards the end of the year, and we have some cool stuff planned for that. But anyways, if you guys want to, obviously, the holidays coming up, you're going to do shopping on Amazon anyways. Use our link because we get a tiny little cut, and it would certainly help us to. We got some big plans. We're going to need a new computer soon. We got some other stuff that we need. So, and then also we're thinking about doing a fundraiser toward the end of the year for Darkness for Light. So go ahead and use the Amazon link. Also, we have a store. If you head over to trickortreatradio.com, and then at the top you're going to see all the links. Click on store. And in there, you're going to find the Greatest Hits Volumes 1 through 3. Obviously, you can get one for free if you're listening live. And if you like what you hear, pick up Volumes 2 and 3. And then there's also some limited quantities of T-shirts, some buttons, some download cards, and some other digital content. So if you want to help out, feel free to go check that out. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. All right, well... Oh, and there's also the donate button. So if you guys want to send donations via PayPal, we would certainly appreciate it. We won't turn it down. Any denomination will do. And that button is also on trickortreatradio.com. Just scroll down and you'll find the donate button. All right, Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch The Dark. What do you do to prepare for this movie?
Oh, it's nice, Johnny. I watch it really early. The sun's still up.
It's called The Dark.
But yeah,
you probably should have watched it in the dark.
Well, I mean, it got dark. It's October, in New England. So, I mean, in the first 15 minutes, it was light, and then it became dark. And then...
Came dark.
It came dark.
Oh, came dark.
It was dark out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Put some docking on. It was dark out.
Rocking with docking.
Yeah. So then around the 20-minute mark, there's a point with an axe to a face, and I fell asleep. But I watched it today.
Okay.
I took the day off from the shop to do the trick-or-treat thing, and it was hard because I'm trying to watch the movie, and I got the fucking kids coming to the house.
The fucking kids.
Yeah, the fucking kids. I got all of them.
Sam's not going to like that kind of language.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fucking the kids didn't say fucking trick-or-treat, Johnny.
What did they say?
They just shut up and stared at me like a fucking dog that was showing
They
a
don't say
PowerPoint
trick-or-treat?
presentation. No, they just stare at you.
What the fuck?
And it's fucking weird. The parents in the back. There's some guys drinking fucking some beer, so they're all from the neighborhood. And
Did you try to get the trick or treat out of them?
well, I fucking shake the shit out of them. No, I mean,
No, like say, what do you say?
I find it's best someone that looks like me not to engage in little kids.
Then
as
don't
much.
give out candy.
Well, no, I'd be like, I can't be like, fucking say it like
You
Sam
can say,
Kinison.
what do you say?
Yeah. But then I'm fucking gonna get videotaped and be on a fucking list, and I can't have that. Someone's gonna get pissed off.
Oh, then don't
Christ,
give
you
out
are
candy.
so convoluted.
Yeah, well, you're in the fucking tower, your second floor tower, hanging out eating squash. You don't give shit to
Yeah.
anybody.
Goddamn right.
fucking tinfoil, man.
Good comeback.
Yeah. So anyway, the
Choice.
dog's scared. He's confused. I'm Grateful Kids, trying to watch the movie, and then I got to come here. But before that, know what I did, Johnny?
I have an idea, but why don't you let me know?
No, I did.
What?
Strapped on.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh,
Don't say that.
You really put us under.
It's like swearing in church. I
You
don't
just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for
You
greatness.
guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really
just
are. You got
say
a
that again
great show.
slowly.
I'm Ruby Burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics,
Like comics.
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
I'm Alex West.
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
All right, we're back on Trick or Treat Radio. Radio?
Hello.
We listen.
I've revealed myself.
Oh, you have.
Yes.
Yeah, you've unmasked.
Yes.
I didn't know it was you all along.
Yeah, it was me. Still got the Metropole card though.
All right, so we are back, and we're going to talk about this week's film, The Dark. Let me go ahead and pull it up on IMDb and go over some stats here. The Dark is 95 minutes. It is a horror film. I would add drama in there. And it is written and directed by Justin P. Lang. Is that Lane? Lange? Jessica Lang, right?
Lang.
That's how you say. Yeah.
Lang.
So Justin P. Lang. And it stars Nadia Alexander as Mina, Toby Nichols as Alex, and Carl Markovix, Sarah Murphy Dyson, Dan Byrne, and Margaret Teasel. The synopsis: an undead teenage girl befriends a blind boy that she meets in a forest she haunts and hunts in. Both have been victims of unimaginable abuse, and each finds solace in the other. There may be a chance of light at the end of their tunnel, but it'll come with a body count. What the fuck? Aries just put on the smallest sombrero I've ever seen.
Oh, holy shit, that's
It's not the size that matters, it's how you use it.
Everyone takes their fucking phones out.
Oddly enough, this isn't going to be the first photo of me in a small hat.
Did someone put a condom on your head before?
No.
Oh,
Someone,
okay.
like when I worked at the bar, someone brought in a small hat and I put it on. And once again, everyone, cameras out. And something about me in a small hat just screams photograph, apparently.
Wow. So, The Dark. Raven Chow just walked in and saw. Yep, it's pretty good.
You broke the strap. I'm not happy.
The strap's broken?
Oh, the hat fell off.
I didn't break it. You broke it.
He broke it.
Oh, how old is this hat?
Ravenchild, beat him up.
I wasn't gonna bring it, and I thought it would be a thing, and you fucking broke it.
This hat's older than you are, isn't
It's
it?
not gonna fit on
You
your big
broke-
fucking
I
melon.
didn't. When I pulled it off of there, it broke.
You didn't do. You did it fucking. You had to do your fucking God strength.
He is strong.
Yeah, it was fine before.
Look, it's disintegrating.
Well, yeah, because you.
How old is it?
Well, fucking, it was brand fucking new.
Bullshit.
Thank you. That was a fucking memory.
That is
Yeah, we
not
took
brand
pictures
new.
of it, so we do have memories.
Good.
That is not brand new.
You know what? I'm fucking.
It's probably been sitting around wherever you bought it
Yeah,
for
'cause
like
look
10
where it
years.
disintegrated. It's all brown and black and shit.
It's a fucking hat.
It's
What
not
does that
a
have to
real
do with
hat.
anything?
You
I
get
know I
fucking-
got a big melon, but this isn't a real fucking
Real
hat.
nice, real nice, real fucking nice.
Hey.
Nice fucking holiday.
I'm really craving a cigarette right now.
Yeah, me too. You want to have
Well,
one?
take the hat off and maybe you
Yeah,
won't.
you fucking walk in here just reeking of smoke.
Yeah,
you-
that's worse than eating fucking pepperoni.
Yeah, you know what's worse? Breaking a fucking memorabilia.
Memorabilia?
Memorabilia.
Memorabilia.
How is that memorabilia?
Because it was a memory I had. Now it's broken.
No, what was the memory? Tell us what the
Yeah.
memory was.
Yeah, what
forgot
memories
because
does this bring
the
back?
trauma of seeing Aries breaking it is fucking ruined.
The
If it was
memory
that
of going to Savers and paying $1 for it.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
if it
sorry.
was
That's
that
your fucking
sentimental,
memory?
you wouldn't have brought it here on a green skull.
I'll never
Hey,
forget
it's a
that
fucking-
day because
it's a
after
nice thing.
Sabres, I went to the store
Oh,
and
this
bought
is the
myself
one
a
that
pack
you
of
have at your
smokes.
house
Well,
on
yeah.
the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks better without the sombrero, anyways.
Why?
Aries looks better with the sombrero.
Yeah.
I do.
Let him give it to him. Give it to him. Let him have it.
Yeah, you got your fucking. Well, you took it. You got some sombrero yarmulke over here.
You,
Fuck.
you can take it back. Go ahead. I dare you. Come on.
Take it off his head.
Come on. Take it back.
You think I wouldn't? I will.
Go ahead.
I'm fucking Fast Tony. I'll do it before you even fucking know.
Come on.
Fast
You
Take it-
don't
Tony.
even see it.
Come on.
Let's
take
see.
it back.
Yeah, come on,
Let's see
try.
it.
Come
try.
on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Holy shit, you took it off.
Holy shit,
No, I'm
Dom,
just kidding.
What's that behind your ear?
Who are you trying to fool?
Yeah, let's see. Take it off.
I'll show
Come on.
What, you pull a gun? Jesus Christ.
What's it? You can't smoke in here.
him. I ain't smoking in here. What's that? Oh, it's right here.
Oh, he didn't get it.
Holy shit.
Oh, Blue Demon's here.
Oh.
Real nice.
Let's
Nice
see Mars
fucking
struggle
holiday.
to take a selfie. There we go.
You're lousy at this.
No, listen, I want you to have it.
No.
I want you to have it.
You can have it, Aries.
Sentimental value. I want you to have it.
Nothing means so much to you. You got the fucking Unabomber and the
It's
fucking.
passed down
There.
generation to generation.
I'll put on my hood to make it look like I'm wearing something.
That's good. Yeah, nice. Put your hood on.
It's, by the way, it's a hood of a sweatshirt. Not. It's not.
Yeah, there you go.
Just want to clarify for the
Yeah, yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
folks.
Yeah.
It's a hooded sweatshirt.
Why is it white and pointy?
Yeah.
Shut up.
There you
Shut
go.
up.
There's radio magic there. It's fucking. You guys
Hey.
are fucking rude.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
All right, The Dark. We've already sort of introduced this film. Come on, dudes.
Yeah.
Let's get on topic here. So, I actually wish I hadn't seen the trailer for this because it gives kind of a little bit of well, not that this movie, like, I think we can go into spoiler territory a little bit because I don't think that it's like super spoilery. I don't want to talk, in great detail, but I think we'll do this film a disservice if we don't talk about some of the themes that it plays upon, because otherwise it's just like a standard conversation of like, oh, well, the monster looked cool or didn't look cool or whatever. So I do want to get a little bit into sort of some of the minutia and some of the sort of analogies and subtext, if you will, Raven Shadow. I know you're a big fan. I gotta take a soda off. It's hurting my it's what am I talking? What am I saying? I can't hear you guys as well from behind. It's weird. So okay, so what the fuck? Good Lord.
Get it. Go get a tissue.
Oh
Go get a tissue.
Holy shit. Get a picture.
No.
This.
I'm glad there's a fucking. I'm glad there's a hole in that nose.
Holy shit. He sneezed in his fucking mask and snot is coming out of it.
There's snot everywhere.
What the fuck?
This is the best Halloween ever.
Oh my god, that was the most horrifying thing. Did you get a picture of it?
I don't think I got it, but
Well, that's fun. That's good enough. That's the aftermath. Holy shit! So Mars is wearing. Well, I think it's Mars. I haven't heard him talk, but
Mars was downstairs.
someone who looks like Blue Demon in a Blue Demon mask just sneezed all over the inside of their mask, and it dripped out the fucking front.
Are you okay? Was that your brain?
Oh, it's
Because
so
that was a lot of
gross.
mass that came out of your nose.
That is so fucking gross.
God damn, dude.
Where were we?
That's fucking
This is
fucking gross, man.
Indonesia. Check out this week's episode.
yeah. It was the grossest thing I've seen this week. Oh, that's this.
Tino's gonna be like, "That's gross. Put him in our next movie."
Try being on the inside of that.
I'd rather no.
Oh, it is Mars. All right. You just wearing a Blue Demon mask?
Right. I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be. I'll be in the next fuck. I'll be. The Night Comes for Us Part 2.
Oh, El
I'll be
Snotto.
out. Yeah.
Snotto.
No.
Sorry, it happens. It happens. The human body's a weird thing.
It happens.
Every once in a while, I sneeze and I don't have it. Like I don't feel it coming. It's like a fart.
You
It
don't
just
feel it
happens.
coming. What?
And it looks like every time it looks like the fucking Kennedy tape.
You're at that age where you shouldn't be trusting farts anyway.
Oh, I'm gonna
so-
sneeze. I'm gonna
Well, that's-
sneeze. Oh, I'm sneezing. I'm
Are you
sneezing.
kidding? I don't trust sneezes.
Obviously.
Holy shit.
That's a new memory.
bad. I think that
That's a
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
memory.
this is not on my
We're not-
glasses.
No one's taking that one away from you, Raven
You
Shadow.
get snot on the phone.
This is probably snot on the wall.
I hope nobody's watching.
Well, if it wasn't for the mask, there would be snot on the wall.
This is boding poorly for my midlife crisis.
If there was any doubt before, this is now your microphone.
yeah.
I'm gonna switch them all when
Stuck
nobody's
with it.
here.
No, you can tell which is which.
I'll tell you whose I don't want.
Why?
Anal Flap McGinty.
Hey, no flat McGinty. All right, let's talk about this fucking movie.
I loved it.
Q Buster.
Treat.
Jeez.
All right. So what
Jump
I
right
like
to the
about
fucking,
what I like about
Blow
Halloween,
your load.
Huh? Well, I just did.
I
I was so excited about it. Came out the wrong end.
So
That's
okay,
not what I had in mind.
so this movie starts and it's we have this one character Joseph, right? Is that
Yes.
the dude's name? Yep.
Yeah.
Joseph Hoffer.
Hoffer.
And he is sort of there's something up. You can tell that he's a little paranoid. He goes into a convenience store and is kind of getting some snacks.
Middle
and
of nowhere,
Middle
kind of
of nowhere.
woodsy area.
Yeah.
Could be like the Ozarks or whatever the fuck.
the Ozarks or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And so he it was kind of weird because the shop owner was like, hey, kind of like weirded out by this guy, and then he got all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was totally being all harbinger like.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, oh, he's trying to get directions. Like, oh, you want to
Oh,
go
Devil's Den.
here?
Yeah.
Because your fucking big city life is not scary enough for you.
Right.
He's like, nah, I just want some cereal, bruh.
It was a weird entry point into the story. Not that I minded at all, but it's just like it thrusts you right in. You don't know what's going on.
No, I have a question. Did anyone
Yes.
It kind of reminded me of Psycho a little bit.
Psycho's in Love.
Yes.
It reminded you of Psycho.
In the sense where you're introduced to a character right away, and you think that's the main character, and it takes a little bit of a turn.
I mean, I didn't think of that, but sure.
Yeah, I didn't think of it either, but it I mean, if that is a bit of a similarity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's like a fucking
Yeah.
but like kind of like a thing where you think there's this character, and it
Oh, it's
kinda
like the
becomes-
Thing now.
Yeah,
First Psycho, now the Thing.
yeah, it's kind of like there's a he's in the Arctic, and they'll take a test to see who's the monster.
The monster.
The monster.
So, and then we follow Joseph, and he gets kind of lost, and he buys a map at the convenience store, and then subsequently loses it, and so he drives around, and he ends up kind of parked, wondering where he's going to go, and then he looks over, sees a sign that says Devil's Den, which is where the guy had pointed out. So he drives through there, gets a flat tire, finds a little house, pulls over, and goes inside the house and starts hearing these weird things happening. And then he goes out into the forest. Is that what happened next?
No. He was compelled to leave the house.
Yes. That's right, yeah.
He didn't want to leave the house,
Yeah.
but he was compelled. I mean, it went poorly for him.
Yeah, one thing I will, and this is the opening, and one thing I thought about this was, I think the opening was, at the time, I thought it was a little bit too long. In hindsight, I don't necessarily think that anymore, but...
Did you have the impression it was almost going to be like only one character tangential? Like, I didn't think that guy was going to have anything to do with the rest of the movie. So I actually agreed with you. I agree with you 100%, but that's why I thought that guy was just carted out there to have that happen.
Yeah, he was more integral to the plot as you sort of go along that you don't realize, I guess.
Right.
And so anyways, but I thought it did kind of an interesting, as I was watching it, there's sort of a chase scene, and I liked that it did a really great job of inverting typical gender roles in film, because typically it's the other way around, right?
Right.
Like you have the in this case, it was an older white man who appears to be like this hardened criminal, maybe, who's on the run.
Right.
And then in this, he's all of a sudden running from what appears to be a young girl, which I thought was kind of a cool reversal, because typically it's we're seeing things the other way.
Yeah, it's done at it's done at a time where it's not very conventional either, where you have him as the antagonist, and not soon after, immediately, and this is still at the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
And he's proven to be the antagonist, and then just 5 minutes down the road, soon he becomes a victim. And it happens at a very unusual time in the film at the very beginning, and that just doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah, and a lot of times, especially in horror films, like I think they want to get that big opening, that thing to grab you, And this was the opposite. It was like a slow 15-minute burn up to, this encounter, Joseph's sort of fate, I guess you could say. So it was a bit of a slow burn up to that, but I thought that it was interesting, and I think they did a good job of establishing Joseph, and then I thought that was a nice inversion of, the typical tropes of we have this little girl chasing this older guy, which I just thought was interesting. I can't think of too many times that I've seen that happen recently. So, and then after that happens, then all of a sudden we have Mina, who is essentially the main protagonist, I guess you could say, or maybe an antagonist as well, like
depending on your point of view.
Yeah, and we get to see. So this isn't really a secret, because if you watch the trailer, if you see the poster, there is a little girl who is a monster. Like, it's not really hidden. It's not like a big surprise, so it's not really going to ruin anything for you. But we get to see this interesting view of Mina, because we see the monster sort of going through its daily day-to-day. Like, we've seen this, like, I guess you could think of like Frankenstein or some other films, but typically the monster only shows up for kills and chases and things like that, and we don't really see too much about the monster unless you're looking at let's say a Rob Zombie's Halloween, or like other films that explore that side. But typically we don't get this sort of glimpse into the monster sort of day to day, which I thought was different and kind of interesting, especially with the pacing of how it went. So we have the scene with Joseph, all of a sudden transitions to Mina, and then now we get to see Mina's sort of, like day to day or moment to moment thing of what she does. So I thought that was sort of a cool way to transition into it. And then she meets Alex, who all along has been in the back of Joseph's car under his invisibility blanket, as we later on find out is what he refers to it as. So, and she finds him, and immediately it looks like she wants to hurt him, because that's her sort of natural reaction is seeing something, wanting to attack it or kill it or whatever.
Well, it's food, right?
Yeah. But it turns out that Alex, I don't know what it was. It was his eyes were burned.
It's like they were seared
Yeah,
shut.
I think
or something.
I think it was burned because they mentioned that he liked to burn things.
Right, he said
Yeah.
he didn't smoke, but he likes to burn things.
Yep.
And I was still learning about the rules back then. I mean, I think when
Yeah.
you first meet Joseph, you know he's on the run. But
Yes.
I think the reveal of why he was on the run is kind of what was cool.
Yeah.
You know, and we kind of learned that with what's her name?
Mina.
Mina.
Like Mina Harker.
Right. And that was an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Didn't see that come. Didn't see it coming.
Neither did Alex.
Yeah.
So-
Alex had good fucking hair, right?
Yeah,
Let's
he
talk
did,
about
yeah.
that.
So right off the bat, Alex is blind essentially. Like I don't know if his eyes still function and he is just unable to see because the skin is burned over. Like I couldn't tell. Like they didn't really allude to it. Later on they allude to maybe getting his eyes getting fixed so he could see again.
I thought it was kind of like,
But
hey, you're gonna be okay.
yeah, it was just kind of like, yeah, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I think he was pretty much done. I think, But the interesting thing about this is this will play a part in the story big time. And it maybe if you get the subtext, it might be a little handholdy, but I thought it was really awesome on the surface as well. Like I thought that it was a really sort of cool way of starting this relationship or this friendship between Mina and Alex, because Mina's a monster and Alex is blind. So he doesn't know that she's a monster. He feels her cold hands on him, and he says your hands are really cold and but he doesn't really know. But as the relationship sort of grows, I think he kind of finds out there's little pieces here and there where she's like, he's not coming back, but she won't say why. So, and Alex is he keeps saying Joseph's going to come back. He's going to come back. And so at this point, Joseph is dead, and the kids are sort of on the run from people who are going to come look for him, that are kind of come look for Alex, and also the police, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think she sees something in Alex that she can relate to as well.
Yeah.
Not only from the age, but I mean, let's just say, I think it's fair to say his time with Joseph wasn't a positive one.
Yes.
And
so
there might be some Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, they definitely.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
there was some
Yeah,
stuff going
absolutely.
on there.
So yes,
I think
Go ahead, Mars.
No, you find out. I thought it was Stockholm syndrome, but it's actually like more of almost like a blackmail thing, because it comes out that if
You're
he
right.
breaks the rules, he's under the impression his family will be hurt.
The classic trope of
So
what?
he's playing along. He doesn't
Yeah.
actually. You find out slowly that he does. It's not actual, like, he hasn't learned to have any regard for Jophus. He is playing along because he's afraid that he's watching, or that he'll hurt his family.
Right, and that's one thing we find out a little bit later that we don't get right off the bat. So you think that maybe at first Joseph is his father or a relative or something like that. Obviously, he seems a little weird that he's in the back seat, but so later on we do find out that Joseph has threatened the family. So, and we find out that Alex has been kidnapped and is being held hostage. So there's a lot of parallels there between Alex and Mina. And as the movie goes along, the runtime of the movie continues on, we get some flashbacks into Mina's past.
Yeah.
And the relationship with her mother and
her boyfriend.
And the mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
That was
pretty horrific.
Scene.
Yeah, there was a couple that were pretty rough.
Yeah.
The one with the teddy bear was probably the roughest.
As an aside, not good trick or treat candy given movie.
Yeah, no, I know.
No.
I had to pause it a couple times.
Hey kids, I'm just watching
Come on in.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, that was a pretty horrific scene. It was
it was I hate to say tastefully done, but it was done in a way that wasn't gratuitous, but still really drove that impact home.
Yeah. You'll know when you see it.
Slight, I don't know. You want to give
Trigger
me a-
warning.
Yeah.
So it so we do get some flashbacks about Mina, and I'm struggling with how much we should talk about Mina's. Let's not say too much about her past. Let's just say that there was abuse.
Yeah.
We'll I think we can keep it at that. And because of this,
and it's shown in a way that, despite the fact it's not gratuitous, it's very hard to watch.
Yes.
So that's worth mentioning because.
Yep. Absolutely.
I was very upset. I can imagine, I should say. You know.
Yeah, for someone who might have been through that and to kind of relive it. Yeah, like I said, it's not gratuitous, but definitely trigger warning for abuse, emotional and physical potentially.
It's not long, but yeah, it's
yeah.
enough.
It's long enough.
Yeah. And so because of this abuse, and one thing that this was in the past. So when we see these flashbacks, it's like many years ago. Is what it looks like. So there's no specific 15 years ago or 2 years ago or whatever. But
there is a mention by somebody else later on.
Of passage of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember when there was the other folks that were looking for him?
Yeah.
There was kids like.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's right. I mean, the kid had made a comment. Yeah. Okay. So this was some years ago that these flashbacks occurred, and Mina has been in the forest. And one thing once again, I'm kind of struggling because I don't want to give too much away, but I do think that it's really important to talking about this film. So I'm gonna err on the side of telling maybe a little bit too much, but there's no big twists necessarily that would ruin the experience. It's just sort of subtext and stuff that's just, we talk about you can take the film at face value, and then underneath the surface there's a little bit more going on there. And in this, it really deals with PTSD and the effects of abuse and how that makes someone interact with the world around them and what happens to their humanity. And so that's why I thought it was interesting, because Mina essentially retreats into the dark, if you will. I'll use that as, I think that's why it's named that. And I think it's aptly named because she doesn't trust anyone. She becomes essentially a outcast and a monster because of what had sort of happened to her.
But I think it also refers to the character of Alex, where he's blind and he can't see. So
well, that's her sort of sanctuary, and that's why it works, because he is blind to what she really is or what she's become. What the?
Well,
are you okay?
You got to sneeze again?
Jesus.
I mean, but I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know how to talk about it because it's the end, so I'm not sure.
Okay. So,
well, it's so weird because this movie is so filled with situations that you don't know how they ended.
Huh?
You know, there are some situations here where you don't where unanswered questions and things of that nature. You know,
what?
Yeah, I didn't have any at the end of the movie.
Well, I don't want to. Did we talk about Mina's condition afterwards? I mean, because if we talk about that, I don't want to.
No, I don't want to talk about.
All right,
that.
then
that's
I
sort
can't.
of.
All right, then I can't really say anything.
Well, I mean, that's an end of the movie thing. That's not like middle of the movie unanswered question. That's, is there going to be a sequel type?
Oh no, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that.
I do want to talk a little bit about it. So it's this sort of, it's really what it comes down to is, this is, like I said, it is, I think it's a great analog for PTSD or negative conditioning that comes from physical and emotional abuse.
Agreed.
And when you've been hurt so bad, you withdraw. And that's what the dark is, in my estimation.
I agree.
She withdraws into the dark because some bad things have happened to her, and it affects who she is and how she deals with people and how she deals with the world around her. And she becomes, to other people, a monster because she's, and a lot of times when this happens, like I'll just use like a general example. Like if a guy meets a girl who has what they consider, I'm using finger quotes, emotional baggage, like, which means they've had experiences that were less than stellar or just downright negative and hurtful, that might affect their ability to trust, or affect their ability to trust someone, or even just to love or whatever. Like, it affects a lot of things when you've been hurt. So I think that in this case, it really shows Mina as a monster. It takes it very literally, because other people, like, in relationships, I've heard guys say, "Oh, she's fucking crazy. She's a monster," or whatever. Like, when really, I don't know. Like, I'm using a really general sort of statement, but in most cases, she's probably a normal person that just has dealt with a lot of fucking shit in her life, and has created, this sort of outlook on people, whether it be ability to trust in them, or
they build this wall that they won't let anybody into their lives,
right, because it's
emotionally or through
it's
thought
safeguarding. It's putting up defenses when they're necessary, and
we've all done it, at some point in our lives. So it's not like this is
I think it's
a lone moment. I mean, we've all done it. It's just that her situation is just more extreme than others.
Yeah, and I think it's especially effective in this movie because it is it happens to a woman, because I think that women bear the brunt of a lot of more. Well, I'm not saying all of. Let me make that clear. I know guys and boys also deal with a lot of physical and mental abuse as well, but with the way our society is set up, it's a patriarchy, which, and women bear the brunt of that and have to shoulder a lot more bullshit, I think. And I think that makes a lot of sense to have this character Mina be the one that sort of shoulders a lot of this, and it's just like, I almost feel. Do you guys remember that movie? Was it The Monster that we did last year? With there was like the mom and the daughter in the car, and there was like a monster outside. You guys remember that?
I didn't watch it.
You did?
Oh no, wait.
You watch everything.
No, I did watch it. Yeah. No.
Well, anyways,
I got confused because that was the show where I didn't watch the other movie and left, which was the
So I think it was
Autopsy of
Jane Doe. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie, but
right. I didn't love it either, but I think that this is a more effective version of that with slightly different content.
You know what I love about this movie is it is a really good crossroads of on the nose and like the symbolism's there. It's strong. It's not overbearing, but it's also like super effective because it's like it works so perfectly. You know it. You know what I mean? Like, when they give you something at the end that justifies a lot of the things that have happened or whatever, or doesn't justify that, doesn't need to have happened. You know what I mean? Like, it makes everything that came before it even more powerful and even more interesting. And I love a film which, doesn't live and die by its last, few frames, which a lot of films that tend to do that. Like, I felt like there's a lot of films we watched, I won't name any, but that I feel like we're just kind of jettisoning along to that last frame,
Yeah, and I will say when this ended, I kind of had chills.
Yeah, I did too.
And it doesn't really happen super often when I watch a movie, and I wasn't sure what I thought about this movie pretty much up until the end.
I was in it, but you know what helped me?
I was in it, but I wasn't sure. Like, did I love this movie or did I just think it was okay?
I joked before, I pretty much lost a day, and so I didn't even look at this movie until I turned it on today. So I knew nothing about it. So I think that helped me a lot. I had no expectations or wasn't affected by any other media. But this movie does a couple of things brilliantly, and they don't fucking rub your nose in it either. And I like that too. Like I think that there is a percentage of the audience that isn't watching it like we kind of are here to watch it, that might miss the biggest part of the ending. What is your fucking problem, Jello Gelatin Mold guy? This guy's fucking, all I see is this guy fucking shaking like Grimace in front of me.
What the fuck?
What are you laughing at?
I have no idea.
Then why are you laughing?
I just keep thinking about the snot falling out of your nose.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I fucking...
No, don't be sorry. It's funny.
No, it's great. If I sneezed on you, it would have been the fucking most action you got in a year.
You interrupted him, you
Continue.
dick.
I don't even remember what I'm
Oh,
talking
yes.
I didn't interrupt him.
Yeah,
about.
you did.
You
No, I
fucking
didn't.
were
You-
having a... I
He
thought you
interrupted
died.
himself.
No.
Yeah, you got mad that no one notices when something weird is happening, but when something weird happens and someone says it, you get mad.
You know what the worst part of this
If they
from
get
here,
upset, no, if that's fine. But
from
don't,
here when
don't
you
blame
laugh,
me.
your neck shakes.
Huh?
Your neck shakes when you laugh.
Well, whose neck doesn't shake when they laugh?
Everyone
else.
Yeah, right, sure.
No, you're the only one I know who has a double chin on the back of their head.
Well, let me take a picture of the back of your neck.
What the
I got
fuck
a
is
small
going
neck.
on here?
Wow.
I don't know. It looks like I'm fucking sitting behind a pile of hams.
Easter's coming.
I think that this movie did a few things brilliantly.
Yep.
And I also think it did, again, not your nose, but I think it did some slasher things brilliantly too, like kind of new, you know? Like,
That first kill was pretty awesome.
oh, sure.
Well, the reveal that something was in the house was pretty great too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was well done.
You know
Very
what I
well
mean?
done, yeah.
Before you make fun of me, this isn't my favorite movie of the year, but this might be the best executed last 5 minutes of a film I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I might agree with that.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Like, cause I was watching it with somebody that didn't watch the whole movie, but I know there was something important about the ending that they didn't notice. So, I'm curious.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm
but-
curious of all you guys. What is this? I know 3 of us did for sure.
Now, I love the ending of this movie. I loved all the characters in this movie. I love the character development in this movie. What I didn't love is that this movie was an hour and a half. This movie was far too long for what they were dishing out at
I
you.
needed 10 more minutes. I thought I would
Really?
have.
I needed a half hour less.
I
of
would
what
have.
they were giving
I
me.
would have liked 10 more minutes in the second house.
This movie was like the Halloween, like the Halloween, October 31st version of the after school special.
Wow.
It was like there was like shit going on. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Like they're having like deep, like, I don't know, like bonding moments. Like,
But it's not what they were talking about. It's other things like
Yeah.
what.
well, yeah, but
What she couldn't, while they were talking about that and stuff, what she couldn't do and what she was fighting back. Like, he was just having a conversation, and he was unable to see that
The struggle that
she
having.
was starving.
yeah, right. But I mean, that's the after school special shit that was going on. That I didn't like. I don't know. It was just too much.
Yeah, Bobby's a cannibal in a very special ABC
Yeah,
family.
like I said, the fucking Halloween after school special. There was shit that was just too much. Like there was too much filler in this movie for me.
What?
What-
It was a good story. Like everything was good except for the length.
But
There was
they
too
had,
much dragged out.
They had to, to build the characters the way they did. I think it was absolutely necessary.
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
that
take
there was
that
this.
scene, for instance. Otherwise, like, what is otherwise there's like some...
Hey, Blue
dumb
Demon, talking on the mic.
Sorry. Otherwise, there's some dumb expository dialogue. Like, I would prefer seeing it than someone saying it.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it. They were saying it.
I thought there were some nice sort of storytelling moments that were show don't tell, like the thing with the lighter.
Yep.
I thought was a nice little touch where it gave a lot of depth to the character for just like this one little thing, and then they kept doing it, and you know, like I won't say too much more, but you know, I thought that was a cool little thing.
But see, that I felt the character was developing in a way that didn't happen. Like I thought something was happening and it didn't. Like I was a little disappointed because just go piss and leave us alone.
Wow.
How about that?
Blue Seaman has left the building.
Blue Seaman.
I mean, especially with the end of the movie, like I felt like they were going somewhere and they didn't end up going that way. And then the end of the movie, I felt they went there, and it's like, okay, I don't quite understand what's happening then. Without spoilers, I can't get too much more into it. But I feel like they hinted at something, didn't do it, and then did it.
Yeah, this
despite what they were.
Yeah, for an hour and a half film, this was a hell of a slow burn flick. You know,
I literally feel like I watched a different movie.
It wasn't a slow burn. It was just, I think it was just you know, character development.
Tons of people like got
you
killed
can't
in
have
this movie.
You can't have character development run, you know, 80% of the movie.
Are you a fucking dildo?
You know,
like,
will you
like,
just
what
let me talk?
I don't want to because you're incriminating yourself.
Oh, shut up,
If
Blue
I was your
Seaman.
lawyer, I'd say shh. Stop.
Go sneeze in your mask.
Like, why can't it be 80% character development?
This is
we saw a movie last week that was 85%.
I haven't
action.
hardly talked at all.
nothing
You've
wrong
been
with
talking
that.
the whole
Right.
time.
Wait, that's not true.
I was talking the whole time.
You know, I mean,
I tagged him in.
I just felt like this movie was with the character development going on, and I mean, I think the characters are great. I think everything that was in this movie worked out. Looked really good and everything. But man, this movie for all the
it's slow. Yeah, it's
it
slow.
is slow. But I mean, for all the what's the word I'm looking for? Potential. It really came down to almost nothing for me.
I disagree.
I
Not
just,
in your opinion. I actually felt like it moved a little too fast in the third act.
things did start picking up. Yeah, but it just overall became somewhat dull for me.
Well, that's
some really decent character development. Yes. And one that we haven't even discussed, and I don't think we can discuss in this review, but the overall layout of this film was just rather dull for me.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't give you dull, and when you say Mars, when you say the third act was rushed, I feel that's because the first two acts were dragged out too much. There were far too much character development, and things were a little too spoon-fed.
I see what you're saying, but just to clarify, that's not the type of rush I meant. I felt like they got somewhere in that third act
And it
that
didn't stop.
they hadn't quite earned yet. Like that the relationship hadn't quite got to yet. Like I understand, it can be justified by how fucking broken and lonely they are, but I just that's where I felt like it was like.
Well, I mean, if there was some unnecessary kills in this movie that kind of backtracked some of the characters' development, I feel, in this movie. Ooh, wow! I gotta.
I don't know exactly what you mean, so I think an off.
There's only a handful of kills in this movie.
Right.
And I just feel that dead center of this movie, those kills backtracked some of the progression that the character had.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it just it really there were, I mean, because you have this type of movie, you need a body count, and I just feel it was unnecessary and backtracked the character, and it didn't recuperate what they backtracked with that.
All right.
What I will do is give Nadia Alexander
No, she was awesome.
heap load of credit. I mean, because she was in boarding school where she was in a shit ton of makeup.
Yeah.
And here she is again.
Yep.
Under a shit ton of makeup. Not as severe as boarding school, but still enough to... I mean, I don't know how old she is. What, 16, 15, 16, 17, somewhere around there?
She was the
and
same,
for-
same girl in
She played Phil.
Phil,
in
yeah, on boarding school.
Boarding
Which
school.
one's
The one,
Phil?
the burnt face.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I give her a ton
She
of
was
props.
awesome, yeah.
She was the best part of that movie and the best part of this movie.
I will agree. I will agree. Although I think the one who played Joseph Hoffer, I think he was underused. But that's another discussion. But the fact that this girl, who I don't, like I said, I don't know how old she is, but the fact that she's able to do these 2 horror movies this year and have, heavy facial appliances, and she's in a grand portion of this movie.
pretty much almost every scene after
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Once
I
she
mean,
shows up, yeah.
I tip my hand to her. I mean, that's
You tip your
took
hand.
yeah.
You did a really good job.
Yeah. You're like shooting a basketball tip.
It's a Mike Tyson
Yeah,
reference.
let me loan you my hat. Go ahead and tip it.
It's a Mike Tyson reference, guys. But she is.
I'm gonna go to Bolivia. I'm gonna.
What did he say?
I'm gonna fade to Bolivia.
That's it.
I tip my hand to him. He actually said that.
Up and come a hungry young tiger.
So that's pretty awesome that she's able to put up with that, and then go out and perform in front of the cameras the way she does. So I give a big props to her for that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think she was really awesome in this, and the. What?
But
I'm sorry, he just
unfortunately,
What happened?
He just spent like 3 minutes adjusting himself in his seat, only to like pause and then rotate 90 degrees towards me, away from the microphone.
but I feel the guy who played Joseph Hoffer, Carl Markowitz.
Yep.
I just think he was underused. I mean, I can understand what they were doing, and I can appreciate that, but I just think they did it a little bit too soon.
I just don't see what else they could do with him.
I agree.
Well, I think they could have had him interact with the kids a little more.
Okay.
Like fucking play catch? Like take a shower? What the fuck? I mean,
You know what I
Well,
mean.
no, I feel that
Like shower with Joseph Hoffa simulator.
come on, kids.
his
Ain't a fucking
impact
camping trip.
isn't what it should be based on his status. It doesn't have the Psycho or the Scream impact because of his status.
But I don't think it's supposed to. I think I think his job was to drive that car there.
Right.
Yeah, it's
But
essentially
if,
that.
if
In
he had a status and all of a sudden,
yeah,
mean-
but his
I mean-
status is totally implied. Like, imagine. I mean, there is physical abuse, but like, imagine if that kid couldn't walk, for instance, and he was hobbled.
I mean,
Like-
if you had read the synopsis of this movie going in, you would expect what happens. If you didn't, it would completely catch you off guard.
I did not.
I did not read anything about this movie walking into it.
I wasn't even.
That
Did I?
completely caught me off guard.
I
was
only-
shocked.
Me
I
too.
only knew what the movie was for this week when I sat down a few hours ago because of a shared technology. I watched somebody else watching it.
I mean, then are you telling me you weren't completely shocked by that?
I felt like no, like I
Really?
felt, no, because it was the only. Granted, it did a different thing in the back end of it, but that's
Then
the
what were
first.
you expecting out of that movie?
That's the first few minutes of every slasher movie since the beginning of time. You go there, don't go there, you're gonna get killed. You go there, it's packaged differently. You go there, you get killed.
I'm sorry,
But it's not
I'm
a beautiful
no,
woman.
No.
It's not a beautiful woman. It's an
No,
old man,
but-
which is a subversion.
But what other movie that the first character you're introduced to dies in the first 15 minutes?
Friday the 13th, 3 through 9.
Yeah, Scream.
That is established as the main character?
They don't establish that person as the
They
main
do
character.
establish him.
They don't.
They
Like,
do.
I don't think so.
Iron
do.
Eagle 2 when
They
Yeah, but
establish that character.
The filmmaker does whatever the fuck he wants. Like, there's no like rules to like.
well, yeah,
if you
but-
establish,
but-
this
but
character,
also
I'm
what-
not
but
saying
also-
they did wrong.
Yeah, but look,
But they establish that character as saying this is what the movie is going to be
No,
about.
he's
Yes.
also
No.
third build. He's also third build.
There's only
But-
4 fucking
but-
speaking roles in it.
But that's because you read about the movie.
No, I didn't.
Then how do you know he's third build?
By looking at the credits, first of all.
Okay, but then going into the movie, you knew nothing about that. What
Right.
I'm saying is, I turned on this movie only knowing the title,
But,
Right,
But
me
what
too.
if-
and then
too.
they established this character as saying this is who the movie is going to be about. This is the main character.
Yeah, but what's wrong
then
with
they
that?
Killed him. I'm not
What's
saying
wrong?
there's something wrong.
So
I think
in-
that is one of the good things about this movie.
He's
In
making
Friday
an
the
observation.
13th 3, when those people wander around town for a little while and their fucking car breaks down, right? And they pretend that it gets towed, right? Are you upset when the movie turns out to not be about them?
No,
Part
I'm
two.
saying that's a
Part
good
2,
thing.
right, yeah.
I'm saying if you know nothing about Scream except for the movie poster, and you go, "Oh, good, Drew Barrymore's in this movie,"
Which I saw
and
in
then
the theater.
5 minutes into the movie, she's dead.
That is what happened.
Yes, I'm saying that's the same thing.
But I don't think they established that she was the main character. And
They kind of did.
I think this guy actually had more than Drew Barrymore did. She just answered the phone. And
Well,
No,
in
but
the
she-
promos,
but
in the
in the-
promos.
It
she
wasn't
was-
so much that
She was
was
front and foremost in the
but,
poster.
but it wasn't
Right.
so much that she was. It
But he
wasn't so
wasn't.
much that she was.
That was a work.
It wasn't so much that she was the established character. It's also the fact that she was really, when you look back at 1996,
The biggest
the
star.
biggest star,
biggest
the biggest
star.
name.
But they were doing a Scream thing with her in that movie, and I felt they were doing the same thing with. I don't even
Wait,
know
they
this
were doing
actor's
a
name,
Scream thing in
and
the
that's
Scream
the point
movie?
I'm making with this.
yeah, but
is
I don't.
that if this actor was Tommy Lee Jones, it would have had a slightly bigger impact.
Right.
But
But what?
what about the examples? Like, what about the beginning of Friday the 13th part?
Every
I-
example is
you're-
Friday the
you're-
13th.
you're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
understand- Okay, right
Horseshack.
now,
All
Mars,
right.
right, Mars, right
Friday
now,
the 13th part 6. Horseshack, who's fucking Horseshack. He's been
Mars,
Horseshack
right
my
now-
whole life. He drives
Hey.
up to the cemetery and gets killed. Like,
just
I didn't
want
think
you
it was
to
going to be a
realize right
Horseshack.
now-
What?
you're MZ.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I think you're MZ.
No,
Blow
you-
me.
In a way, we're all MC.
No.
Except
right
without
now,
the DSLs.
You are MZ.
We're all MZ.
You want to know how he feels all the time? Right there. There you go.
I know how he feels, soft and squishy.
With a nougat center.
Oh my God.
Now
I understand what you're saying. I just feel like it happens a lot. Like I'm not like I
I
wasn't
didn't
like
say it didn't happen a lot.
yeah, but I don't
I'm
feel
saying
like the
it
car.
lacked some of the impact based on the fact that this actor to us wasn't well known. Would you just drink on the fucking bottle?
All right, hold on a minute.
Now you're not talking to the mic, Aries. Jesus Christ.
I'm yelling at him because he's
Johnny,
You have the mic.
glass.
It's
pointing to the
Halloween.
side.
Johnny,
Are you
Johnny.
happy?
Not when you
Johnny.
yell.
Johnny.
Yes.
What's this director's name, please? Can you look for me?
It is Justin P. Lang,
Okay, hold on.
who just followed us on Twitter. Great.
Are you serious?
J
Yeah.
J
Oh, that's
G
funny.
P. Okay.
We're sorry, Justin. He's getting naked.
Oh.
Take it all off.
Yeah, get angry.
Yeah.
JP.
Oh, he's got the
Oh,
vapors.
wait.
Wait.
Mars is calling
JP, it's Mars.
Justin Lang on the phone.
Your movie fell apart. I'll tell you why.
Wow,
Casting.
Miles.
You needed to spend a lot of money on that guy in the beginning of the movie, or it's all fucked up. I suggest
Why
go
did you
back
get
and
Tommy Lee Jones?
I suggest you go back and recut it with
Are
Dustin
you
Hoffman.
really trying to? You are so
Al
proving
Pacino
that
is
you are
available.
MC right now.
Al Pacino might have been
Al
available.
Pacino is.
What's Yahoo Serious doing now?
You are so MZing this right
I am
now.
on the phone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
on.
MZ, continue.
Oh,
Go ahead.
No, he's got Justin Lang on the
Yeah,
phone
hold
right
on
now.
a
This is a great bit, MZ. Go ahead.
Hold on a second. Wait, is Johnny MZ too? Because I think he.
No. Johnny's Johnny. You're MC.
Who's Johnny?
Go ahead. This is brilliant.
All right.
Innocent.
This is
Okay.
brilliant. Go ahead.
So yeah, okay. So he says he's gonna get C. Thomas Howell next time. That's the most he can afford.
See Thomas
Matthew
Howell.
Modine might be available.
He wanted to get he was a little confused because he wanted to get Mark Singer because Mark Singer is the made-for-TV Mark Hamill.
Yes.
But then he realized that now Mark Hamill is the made-for-TV Mark Hamill, so he might get Mark Hamill next time.
Wowzers.
Or Mandy Patinkin, either or.
Mark Hamill or Mandy
All right.
Patinkin.
Maybe Patinkin.
Hey, I'll catch you on the green, sir. All right. All right. Thanks. Peace in the Middle East. Thank you. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't know you had his number.
I did. He also said the next one of these is going to be called more darker. Darker still. Yeah, I don't understand why I'm MC.
We're sorry, Justin.
Well, I'm not sorry. You're a very nice man. It was a nice conversation. I'm agreeing with you. I just gave that guy hell.
Call him back. Get him back on the phone.
Did we just have a, what was that, 15, 20-minute argument? We're arguing the same point?
Yes.
I think on the same
essentially.
side, yeah.
No. I'm saying I don't agree with you. I don't think it matters. That was called satire. I was making fun of your bad idea by calling the director. By the way,
but
he
when you
wasn't
hung
really
up
on the
with
phone.
your bad joke,
Yeah.
you said you agreed with me. That was also part of your bad joke?
Right. It was like it's called the
Okay, yeah, see,
door
that's
closer.
MZ, you need to spell it out a little better.
Wow. How about that?
Wow.
What's the chat room say, Johnny?
I like the MZ.
They're,
You're just a
they're at a
fun-
loss for words. I apologize for using you for this, but
Well, you should.
No.
it's fitting.
No.
Because it really hurts him. Look at his eyes.
Look into his eyes.
Evil Corny says, "Wow, Aries is taking care of his talking on the podcast for the rest of the year."
Yeah, wow, I know. He's been saving
He has,
him up.
he has
And maybe
hoping.
part of next year too.
The first time Mike says it's banking for the holidays.
Yeah. I just don't think it mattered. I understand what you mean, but it was impactful for me because it was a well put together scene. Not that
How
needed-
was it impactful?
because that dude fucking got scared, ran out of the house, stepped on a fucking nail.
Nail, yeah.
He got fucking capped.
Oh, he oversold that, by the way.
No, I don't think he
I think he's a
oversold that.
soft
Stepped on a
touch.
nail?
Have you ever stepped on a nail? Aries?
Yes, I have.
I've done it all the time.
Did
and
you
I don't
try
Remember I
running?
told you I
Did you try
screamed like a
running
lunch
after?
whistle, remember?
You what? Scream like a lunch whistle.
Yeah.
I think he's a soft touch. I think that's the point. That
No,
he's a,
believe me.
Yeah, he
I
wasn't a
have.
tough guy. So that's why I think he was so hurt by the nail. It did look bad. It looked like it went right through his fucking foot. though.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a god of war.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, it's a
I step
fucking
on
nail.
I step on nails for breakfast.
It went right. It went right through his foot.
You want to see scars?
I eat rusty nails for
Okay.
breakfast.
Are we gonna fucking redo that Mel Gibson?
Yeah,
scene
you gonna
from
show
Lethal
us all
Weapon
your
3?
scars?
Yeah, the jaw. Yeah, this one's gonna fuck you later.
go one
on.
on your
I'm
ass?
sorry. Yes.
This is when I
If
stuck my
stepped on a
dick in
nail,
the
that's
eel
when I'm
tank
done.
at the
Everyone's-
aquarium.
I'm dying. Yes.
What? Why are you dying now?
Because I stepped on a nail. That's why I'm dying.
Could be tetanus.
All right, let's get back on track
Anyone
here.
for tetanus?
One thing I loved about this film
Is that a
is
new album?
especially with Joseph, was at the beginning the way the film, the way the camera work. I just loved how it followed him. It's very like third person behind him,
Yeah.
and it really sort of stuck with it. It wasn't like we're just going to do this for a few shots. It was like predominantly like maybe 80% behind third person. Whereas sometimes they do like a wider shot when he got in the house. They do a wider shot, but I know I just thought it was really effective and kind of built the suspense of you don't know what's going on here. And Justin Mars's new buddy Justin P. Lang is
I don't need to be treated like this.
he's a first time director. This is his feature debut,
Yeah.
which things like that for me go a long way because that's sort of the thing. That's the thing I look for directors who have been doing it for a while, like getting those shots right. And maybe he had a good director of photography or whatever, but still, I mean, that typically comes down to the director making the final decision about what's being used. And I thought a lot of the camera work was really effective in this and really sort of supported the story being told. And that's not always the case with films. Is sometimes you get some just I mean. You get some regular camera work that is fine and tells a story, but this really kind of played into it and accentuated it, I think.
And looking at Lang's his filmography, this is based on a short story that he did.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny. A lot of
Which happens
first
quite a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of first time directors tend to do a first kind of a short, and then they'll get the ability to expand on it in the feature. So he does have a couple of shorts that he's done prior to this, but this is his feature debut. So, and one thing that this is sort of an overriding theme is I think Mars took his coat off. I think one thing that this shows is that it takes the right person to be patient with you to help you out of this dark, if you will. And in this case, I just thought it was so beautiful the way it was set up, where we have Mina, who is this this monster, and Alex, who can't see her for what she really is, or is blind to it, like literally and figuratively. And I thought that was brilliant, because it now, he doesn't have this preconceived notion of who she is, and they can relate, because they're in similar situations where he is sort of hostage and being threatened in another way. So they have sympathy for each other, and I think that really helped them to sort of bond a little bit more as well. And so I don't know, I just thought that was a really cool dynamic between the two characters, and I thought that was really well played.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I don't know if I can talk about it though.
All right.
I don't think she ever got out of the darkness.
Okay.
I think the end of the movie is the first time that anyone saw her without any sort of preconceived notions.
Yep.
And the rest of the film, we were kind of seeing her through her perception of herself.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Could be, yeah.
Because I had a question about the ending and certain things as well.
Because I think that he couldn't see her. Anyone else think about it. Joseph never saw her.
Right.
Almost
no one really saw her.
No one saw her. She took
mom,
out that
right?
person's eyes.
Yeah, and her mom.
I mean, but the only hole in that theory is that woman was talking about like Halloween.
True. The
stuff,
yeah,
but
the woman, yeah.
I still feel like that sits better with me than a more fairy tale sort of a relationship being a magic apple that kind of gets her.
Well, I like that theory though, but the only question is the time that elapsed. And I mean, I could see it from the perspective of the three hunters, if you will. They're going by the assumption of what the legend is. The legend of...
Well, they don't see her, though.
They do.
Well, one sees her with an axe in her hand. So she has... Justin talks about the monster. Right? Someone dies, and then Justin talks about a little girl monster, and then there's a little girl with an axe in her hand.
And he doesn't immediately run either.
And
even after a kill.
Yeah, that's true. And it is said there's a couple times, at least one or two times, where they mention that Devil's Den is like cursed.
Right.
And that there's like a monster. So they don't really. Yeah, so it's interesting, Mars. I actually thought of it in a slightly different way, similar, I guess, but a little bit differently.
Yeah,
so
the only flaw in your thinking is the old woman talking about the Halloween costume.
But still, that might just be a slight mishap because she's an intruder.
You know
what I mean? Like, so
could be
she's
interpreted as her dress, or
right.
that she is,
dirty,
she could be covered in mud,
blood
yes.
and mud.
And
you know what I mean?
They were in that little not a cave, but like that
Yes.
underground thing.
So I mean, she may be. That's a good point too, Aries. But I think that because here's the deal: if she looked like that, even with Halloween, like the mom, even with the gun, even though she seemed a little in the bag, totally no-sold the fact that she could hurt her.
Well,
you know?
I mean, you're looking at it as from the perspective of that monsters exist in the universe, but for some monster to come into your house, you're like, you're wearing makeup.
Right.
Like, someone walks in your house with a Halloween mask, you're assuming that it is someone in a Halloween mask, not Jason Voorhees.
Actually, no, I'm screaming like a small child,
well, granted,
throwing stuff over my shoulder.
Johnny, someone walks into your house. You're assuming it's someone in a Halloween mask, not Jason
and I'm
Voorhees.
yelling for Nicole to come save me at the top of my lungs.
I mean, that's just how everyone thinks.
First time.
Especially if you're at the upper hand with a shotgun.
First time Mike says, I love this. We get a review and a tribute to the comedy of the legendary Bob Newhart with a phone skit by Mars. That was no phone skit, Mars. That was the real
Right,
deal,
on the
right?
phone, right.
Yeah. And,
I phoned a friend.
And Riku says Aries is going in this episode.
You see, that's why Aries is mad. I didn't tell him when we started the show, 300-something episodes ago, that I could call people. So he feels like I broke the rules there.
You do really like. Oh, never mind.
What?
No, go ahead.
The one thing I loved.
If you flex your pecs together, could you make Joker and Batman kiss on that show?
Don't get excited.
Give me a smooch, Batman.
One thing I loved, and this is going to be difficult to say, but was the ending. That sort of like split second where Mina is like deciding what to do, and then she makes her decision.
Right.
That was like
incredible.
Like, yeah. And
especially,
and that was because the movie, everything led up to that. It had so much more impact
because she's picking to go back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is like, granted, I'm learning about a lot of this stuff right now.
Yeah. And I've experienced it sort of through others.
Right, and so I mean, it's the first, wanting to join in is the first step of like kind of recovering. You know what I mean? Like wanting to be. But I think that the best part of that, the best part of the scene in the movie was they didn't do a big, huge, unless I looked away for a second and missed it, they didn't do a big, huge justifying close-up of one of the main conceits of this. They just...
I think I know what you mean.
They just showed her in profile, and that was that. And
she did turn a little bit.
I thought that, but not enough to be, it wasn't,
No, it was enough.
Yeah, it wasn't, they didn't
to me, it was definitive.
They didn't give a sitcom.
Well, you know what? It wasn't a sitcom.
Well, I know, but
I know you were laughing through the whole thing.
No, but what I'm saying is that a lesser hand would have had another dialogue scene where she was like, like, where you heading?
Right.
Anywhere, and you would have saw, this was something that you easily could have missed if you were like packing in, because the movie was ending.
Yep.
Well, because I felt that they did it correctly, where you were like, you kind of got. Well, maybe just me, a little annoyed that there wasn't a question. Like, the person in the car should have noticed.
Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
why are you here? Where's your mother?
There should be some question. Are you okay? Like, it was far too calm of a conversation for me.
But that I think that's more to the point of the sort of idea of.
Oh yeah.
What's
no,
going
that's
on.
what
it's not literal.
Until the she gets in the car, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then it was,
yeah.
I'm annoyed, and then okay, it all makes sense.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Well, I kind of had a feeling that was the turn that it was taking anyway. Just by
they're telltale.
They definitely are. Yeah, there's definitely signs of that's how you knew it was going to end. Not that was a problem or anything like that. I just I shouldn't say I never got that feeling. I got a little bit of a feeling, but not that it was going to go that way.
I didn't get that feeling at all, and I don't believe you did either. And
he's pointing at you. Don't stare at me.
Me? Don't point at me, man. I'm telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we got Serrana hanging out in the chat room.
Nice.
She says, "Happy Halloween, handsome peoples."
Ooh.
She must be talking in the chat room, not us.
Right, not us.
Okay, MZ, let me call you out. Give me one example you thought that's why that was going to go that way.
I really shouldn't say anything, actually.
You should
You should never say anything.
Example of why you thought that was going to go that way.
I can't say it in the review because otherwise it's a spoiler and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Really,
you can't. How do you like that?
Because you know what?
It's a spoiler, douchebag.
I can give one example of how I thought it was going to go slightly that way without a spoiler.
All right, then go ahead.
When she
gonna say
held
me
the flame
too.
under her hand, and that she
there's a
seemed
couple of them.
surprised that it burned her.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple of things.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
all right. That's one, but I'm talking about the ending.
That could lead to
Well, how did you? So you knew the ending was going to happen at the ending?
Okay. You wonder why I was calling him MZ? There you go.
I'm just saying. I knew how it was going to end. That's all. I mean, not that
At the end, you did?
not that I knew how it was going to
It was
end.
gonna fade to black, and then I see some credits.
Oh, shut up, Four Eyes. Not that I knew that it was going to
What are you,
end
we second
from
grade?
halfway into the movie. I
Four
just knew
Eyes.
how it was. I just knew how it was going to end at that scene at the end. I just knew how it was going to end.
Fucking Karnak.
It's not that difficult to understand. And
So
I'll
what you're saying is you understood.
Shut up! And I'll understand it, and I'll
Please
explain
don't
it.
yell directly into the mic.
I'll explain
That's
it
gonna-
even more when we're on
So you-
on
And
commercial.
we can't wait.
So you
I'm
un-
so
You're
gonna call
goddamn
you.
right.
So
You're
you
goddamn right,
understood
and
the
you'll
end of the
understand
movie
it.
while the end of the movie was happening. You understood the end of the movie while the end of the movie was happening.
I'm just saying. I didn't say that. I'm saying I
That's
knew
actually
how it
what
was
you
going to
said,
end.
exactly.
No, that isn't what I said. I said I knew how it was going to end.
When? At what? Like, let's.
Oh
give,
my God!
Give me
Are
a
you
running
really
time, if not a scene.
Did you sneeze your brains out?
Whatever. Give
Yes,
me a.
he did, but besides that point.
Give me a running time, if not a scene example. Like, when did you go? Oh.
At the half-hour mark, at the 45-minute mark.
Literally at when that scene took place, the final scene I'm talking about.
Which part? Which, like the final scene, walking down the road during
Right,
the day.
right.
So you knew what was happening while it was happening.
No, I knew. No,
That's what
You
you
just said.
no.
You said you knew the ending while the ending was happening.
I knew I knew the reveal of that ending as before it happened.
At what point?
Yeah, I knew it was
Before
Kaiser,
it happened.
2 seconds.
I knew it was Kaiser Soze
5
when
minutes, 10
Kevin
minutes,
Spacey said he was
half
Kaiser
hour.
Soze.
At what point
Before this. Oh my fucking God!
No, don't give me. Oh my
No,
God!
I will give you. Oh my God!
5 minutes before, 10 minutes before. How long before?
38 seconds
when that
after.
scene happened. Oh God damn it!
You're
Hey.
saying before. I'm asking you how long before.
When the scene happened.
So that's not before.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
wow.
No.
Yes.
You can't be this stupid, Woodsy the Owl. Come on, what's the matter with you?
This isn't me, right?
No,
This isn't me.
I don't even fucking
This
know.
isn't me.
It's not
I
you.
don't even know
Oh,
anymore. I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't
At
want.
what point?
Shut up. I will explain it when we go to commercial,
no.
and that is it.
This shit
almost-
is happening on air.
No,
'cause
all
we're
right. You want me
recording
to
this.
explain it?
No,
All right.
spoil it.
All right. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm gonna spoil it.
Okay,
I'm gonna
hey,
spoil it.
take your pants
No,
off.
I'm gonna spoil it.
See,
This
I
is what
was
happens.
quiet- I
This
was
is what
quiet
happens.
when you asked me
want
to be quiet.
Trick or treat.
I was
baby.
quiet when you asked me to be quiet. So now I'm asking you to be quiet.
For a treat.
Let me get my statement out.
He's gonna die. He's gonna have a heart.
You said you knew the ending of this movie. Yes?
Thing.
when the scene.
All right, it is
when the scene
verdict
was
time.
taken.
No. Wait. You said you knew the ending of this movie
Ding.
Yes.
before the ending of the movie happened.
Ding.
Before the very ending of the movie happened. Yes.
So at what point? Give me 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before.
When she was walking down
2.5
the
seconds.
road.
That's the end of the
literally
movie.
2.5 seconds.
No,
before.
that's not the end of the movie.
They drove away.
That's the end of the movie.
Okay, I'm out. Go to verdict.
Thank
Oh,
God.
I did. We already went to verdict.
Finally, he understood.
No,
I tapped
He
out.
understands that you're an idiot.
No, I'm
You
not
just
an idiot.
rope-a-doped him. With an emphasis on the dope.
Oh, for God's sakes.
God has nothing to do with
Oh,
this.
shut the fuck up. Jesus, cocksucking Christ.
You kiss your mother on the ass with that mouth?
So I should have a chat
His
room.
letter in the group.
I don't even fucking know. Justin, pick up.
No, please don't, actually. All right, so it's verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Mars.
Treat. I knew
No.
I knew how this movie was going to end at 25 minutes after I watched it on the way here. So you know. But I think that despite Calamity Jake here next to me, I think that this movie is
What does
great.
this mask smell like?
Don't do it. No.
Yes.
He
Put
just
it on.
fucking
I'll give you a
sneezed in
quarter.
it.
I
Put
think
it on and lick it.
I think this movie does a lot of things brilliantly and does a lot of things right. But I think that the patience of the last couple minutes of this film, like, are almost like, are like, I don't know, are not a first-time filmmaker last couple minutes of this film. Because there are a lot of things that a filmmaker can do to, like, not punch his weight. But one thing that I find is the hardest to do is not do anything. You know, and what was great here is that this was definitely, it was show, not tell, but they didn't rub your nose in anything. And it also wasn't an instance where the last few minutes the movie lived and died by it. It was an incredible experience without that scene. The movie would have been just as good, I think, in a different way without that scene. But the weight added to the rest of the film with that scene really made this a treat.
Yeah, and I actually was going to say a lot of what Mars just said, so I'll just go next and piggyback on that. And this was absolutely a treat for me as well. When I saw the trailer, I thought this looked interesting. I actually did see the trailer, and in hindsight, I wish I hadn't, because it gives, not that it gives anything away per se, but I think this would have been really good to just go in knowing nothing at all. So, you know, I guess in hindsight, I wish I hadn't watched the trailer, but you know, it helped me to pick what we're gonna discuss this week. So I guess it was, I sort of had to. But this is a really, I'll come out and say that this is not for everyone. There's going to be people. I actually thought I thought some of you guys were going to hate this movie. I just thought it was that kind of slow movie where not a lot happens. But then towards the end, like we talked about, when the emotional impact of a decision happens, it's like, fuck, you know, like, and a lot of what built up to that point was completely justified. And like I said, I liked this movie throughout, but I was still unaware about halfway through where I was leaning. But towards the end, it's totally sealed it for me. You know, I think that it's pretty bold. It's pretty bold of a first-time director to come out with this and be like, here's my fucking movie. Like, you know, a lot of directors, I think, want to come out and go crazy and have like tons of blood or gore or action or whatever. And this is really reserved, and it's a real emotional piece where it lives and dies by the characters and the relationship that they build and where that relationship takes them and sort of where they go from point A to point B from the beginning of the movie till the end. And it's a really kind of impactful journey, I think. And I think Raven Shadow, earmuffs. I think this is an important film. And I think that this shows a side of people, like we talk about Get Out, and you know, that's obviously the infamous, when I said it was an important film that people should watch,
where they do rub your nose in it the whole time.
Oh, those aren't my words. Don't speak for me. I love that movie, and it shows it's horror through someone else's eyes, where you're experiencing what they've been through or what they deal with on a daily basis. And for me, this almost did the same for, you know, someone who has PTSD or has dealt with physical, emotional abuse, gaslighting, any form of abuse. It really all comes down to abuse, I guess, whether it's physical or emotional, and sort of how that impacts all your relationships after that point, and how you deal with reclaiming your life and your humanity, you know. And that to me is like, it shows this side of people that we don't normally get to see, I think, you know, and it does it in the form of a monster movie. You know, so I think that that's brilliant, and that's why I love horror and why it's such a good platform for socio-political commentary. And I think that this does a great job, because mental illness is something that a lot of people deal with now, whether it's self-inflicted, whether it's you're born with it, or not self-inflicted, but inflicted by others, you know, or if it's something you're born with, you know. So I think that this gives an insight into what someone who has dealt with abuse in the past might have to be like. And we've all known people, we all have dealt with something like this, where someone has been impacted by something negatively, and that will help inform all the relationships from that point on. And it could be really difficult to trust somebody or to really get to know somebody because they've had this thing happen. And I just love that this movie shows that fucking darkness of it, but then kind of helps to pull out of that darkness and find a way to see humanity and light in a different way. And for me, that was really powerful and impactful. And it's not something I have to deal with, fortunately, but I do know people who have had to deal with this. And for me, this movie meant a lot to me because it was about a lot of things that I've learned over the years. And it sort of was like, oh man, that's kind of what it must be like to deal with this. So it really kind of put me in Mina's shoes in a way and made me sort of be able to experience that, because you don't know what it's like to deal with things if you don't have to deal with it, right? But in this case, I felt like I could really put myself into Mina's shoes a little bit and to really sort of understand what that is like to deal with. And to me, that was really impactful and really powerful. So this movie does a lot really good, and I think it's a super impressive debut film from Justin P. Lang. So I'm super excited to see what he does next. So big time treat for me. MZ.
I'm going to have to give this, I'm really on the fence on this because there are some things about this movie that I like, some things that I don't like. I do love a slow burn film. I do feel, you could shake your head all you want, Mars. What? Okay, whatever you say. I do think this is a slow burn film. But I feel that there's got to be some sort of,
we all doing that now?
but there's got to be some sort of resolution.
There fucking is. There's a hell of a resolution.
I wasn't hit with. I wasn't. Well, you shut the fuck up.
I knew what your review was going to be before.
You know what? I'm
did
not reviewing this. Fuck you guys. Suck my dick. I ain't doing it.
You have to.
Well, I ain't doing it.
It's Halloween.
I don't care.
Yeah, it is Halloween. You have
Johnny,
to.
tell him.
Nope.
Yeah, you have to review the movie on Halloween.
Nope, couldn't do it.
Well, the devil will come at you at midnight.
I've tried.
I do want to know why this didn't work for you.
I've tried. Well, I would love to say
If
why.
you don't review this movie, I'm going to make the Halloween fairy come beat the shit out of you.
Well, let him come and try.
I'll release.
How do you know it's not a
I'll
woman?
release your tuck video.
Then go right ahead.
All right, I'll do it right now.
And I'll let your mother into the trick or treat radio group.
You go right ahead.
Come on.
Nope.
Nah, come on.
Just do it. Just do it.
It's okay. It's really okay if I release the tuck video.
No. I'm not talking about the movie anymore. I tried. You guys can't shut up.
You want me to turn everyone's mic off? But yours?
You think that's going to stop?
To be
Yes.
fair,
No,
I'm not
it's not.
100% sure you talked about the movie at all.
To be 100% sure.
I just
don't
don't-
really give a fuck what you think.
One more time, MZ, please.
What?
Just why didn't the ending work for you?
No, I'm not talking about the film.
All right, Aries.
All right. Okay, that was funny. No, I mean, as I said, I just felt this movie was a little too after school, especially for me. I mean, aspects of it did work for this movie. I'm not saying that was entirely a bad thing. I just felt it was a little too overdone for what they were trying to get across, and what they did get across. What are you doing?
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
Making me nervous.
What are you doing? You sleep there.
Yeah.
Making sleeve
But I mean,
origami?
just they did do an excellent job with character development and the story of it, and everything. But it's just, I felt it was a little too drawn out at times. Some things that could have been hashed out a little too, a lot quicker than they were. Okay, you're leaving now, and just go ahead. You're interrupting. No one can hear you.
Yeah, no one can hear you.
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm gonna follow him downstairs, and you're never gonna see him again. But I mean, all in all, I mean, there was a lot of this movie I did I did really like, but there was just small bits of it I didn't like. And hearing that this was a first-time director, I can completely. It is a lot of it is forgivable. Like I said, I knew nothing of this movie going in. I didn't read anything. I didn't watch anything. I knew the title, and I watched the movie. So I really was expecting one thing, and it went a completely different way as the argument ensued a little while ago, and I thought that was a brilliant thing. I was very happy with that. But like I said, there's just little things that I thought this movie could have been done a little bit differently or could have been shorter, which would have been a short rather than a movie, which maybe he could have teamed up with someone else and made 2 shorts into 1 movie. That's something for a different argument, I guess. I don't know. But all in all,
Now
this
you're
movie-
just fucking babbling.
Yeah, now I'm babbling. Yeah. Treat.
All right, Raven Shadow.
All right. I don't know how an hour and a half flick can be a slow burn. I think it was a good pacing. It was a good run time. I enjoyed the run time. Thank you, Justin. Hour and a half is a fucking perfect length for a movie.
Gonna go get Mars.
Oh shit. See him in the shower. Fuck.
I don't know.
Is he wheezing? Yeah, no, man.
What the
What the
fuck?
fuck's going on here?
What the fuck's going on here?
What happened?
Oh!
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Holy shit!
Oh shit! I hope that's.
God!
I really
Michael
hope that's
Myers
a fake
just
knife.
fucking came in. Holy shit!
I don't even know.
Stab Raven Shadow! Stab him!
Stab him!
Stab him!
Stab him!
Stab him! Kill him!
Stab him!
Stab!
Stab!
Stab! Stab! Stab! Stab! Stab! Stab! Stab! Stab! Stab! Aw. He's gonna shake it! Stab him! He wouldn't tell us his review. Michael Myers, stab him.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah! 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 Holy shit, that was a real knife.
Oh shit!
Maple syrup's everywhere.
That wasn't the fake one. Oh man!
Michael Myers, everyone. If you're not watching the live show, you're really missing out on this one.
Oh my god!
So Michael Myers has come into the not the Ya Bobby one, has come into the studio.
Yeah, he has.
Threatened to kill Raven Shadow, killed Monster Zero. He's not talking to the microphone.
A man of many words.
This is unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
Him and Aries should stay at the same mic. They might hit double-digit words.
I know. Actually, I thought Aries was here for a while. Then I realized it was Michael Myers.
Yeah, if that was Aries, his beard would be hanging out underneath the mask. And
You know what's funny about it is that Michael Myers here looks like is classic Michael Myers, and Aries looks like Rob Zombie Michael Myers.
Aries is kind of like Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get, oh my God, this guy's doing a show.
Picture. We need a picture. Michael Myers does the sombrero.
I think Michael Myers is not pleased.
I don't think he's happy with this.
El Miguel Myers.
First time Mike says, "Oh my God, I'm dying laughing right now." So for people listening to the podcast, Michael Myers literally just walked in the fucking studio, and he is just sitting in the room, and it's pretty fucking freaky. I don't. Anyone know Michael Myers is coming?
No.
No.
Well, what's funny is that I called for Austin Powers. They must have missed.
Oh, the talent agency said
Yeah,
the
I
wrong
messed
one.
up.
Yeah, baby.
A little uncomfortable. You know what? Treat?
I forgot what we were doing.
Oh my God. I'm so fucking scared right now.
he's literally sitting right behind you.
I'm one Bombalay away
Wow.
from a fucking machete to the throat.
But if you didn't know any better, you'd swear that was Aries underneath the mask.
Well, Aries is right there.
Yeah, he's still pissed at you too, by the way.
Yeah, now
That's sexy, right?
now you're gonna tell your verdict now that the Halloween fairies come?
I don't think he heard you.
No, I heard him.
You gotta do your verdict now.
I will.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no,
You
no,
get to go
wait,
last.
Raven Shadow was still doing his.
No, he
right?
did.
No, he
Yeah,
finished.
treat.
He finished.
Oh, you said treat?
Treat, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
No, oh man, that was too funny. No, there's a lot. You know, it's like Aries said. You know, there's a lot of things done right, a few things done wrong. And also, I do agree. You know, as well as you, Johnny. You know, first time director. You know, it's not a terrible film. It's very well put together, very well made, very well acted. The two leads were spectacular, and with the flaws that this movie does have, having this guy as a first time director, you can forgive him for that. And I am looking forward to seeing what he has up his sleeve next. It's not a perfect film, but it is a decent film for a first time director. And for that, he is to be commended. And I can't say I liked it as much as everyone else here did. It's okay at best as far as whoever made it, you know. But I'll give this a tepid treat. But I'm more interested to see what he does next. And this is a pretty good stepping stone for him. I've seen better, but I've seen worse. But this is a good stepping stone for him, and I'm interested to see what he does next.
Attaboy, right?
You happy now?
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
Yeah.
I was.
It would have been better if
Yeah,
you didn't
without
say anything, to be honest. Just
That's
saying.
nice. That's nice. That's real nice. That's real nice.
Well, Michael Myers, you know, when he shows up in the studio.
Well, for all we know, that could be Justin under there. For all we know,
that would be
I did call him.
that could be the director.
Yeah,
under
he
there.
does. He probably traced Mars's GPS. So actually, so that's going to do it for our review of The Dark. If you guys are interested, it's available on VOD, put out by Dark Sky Films, and you can check it out. And obviously, I think we all gave it treats, varying degrees. Mars and I really enjoyed it. Raven Shadow enjoyed it pretty well, and then the other two were just over the treat line, I think, but liked it. So there you have it. Now for next week, we are a little uncertain what we're going to do because next month begins. Oh shit! We just got a tweet from Justin.
Oh, shit.
He says, "Really fun show, guys. Tell Mars to call me anytime." That is amazing.
What was that first statement?
So it couldn't be Michael Myers because I didn't see him pull out his phone and tweet.
No.
He did pull out his phone.
Oh, he did pull. Holy shit! He did pull.
shit.
He did pull.
wait,
out-
wait, wait,
oh, he's
whoa.
pulled it out again.
Oh.
This is literally the best thing that's ever happened.
What was the first statement he said?
He says, "Really fun show, guys.
Oh.
Tell Mars to call me anytime." All right, Justin, you asked for it.
Yeah.
Cable brother.
You're
gonna
gonna
get calls at 3 a.m.
Yeah, you're gonna regret this one.
Yeah. Ask Tony Tapone how that worked out.
Yeah.
Tony, pick out
We
a
haven't-
Sunday at 6 a.m.
Or
We haven't heard from him in over 2 years.
yeah, or Alex DeCampi. We haven't heard from her in a while.
Yeah.
Who,
Well, I've
who
heard-
else would be scared away?
I've heard from her in real life, but
Who else
not in
would
a
be
while
scared
though.
away?
Actually, now you think of it. No, my Joan Beeswax. I'm not the. Listen, I'll tell you that in most social situations,
Are we cock blocking anyone else?
I
for you?
might be the one that scares people away. But I think in this room, I don't even know that I'm in the fucking running.
Do have Michael Myers here.
Yeah.
And he's not even the scariest one.
So as for next week, it kicks off New Guest November, and we just had a shift. We had someone who was going to be with us later in the month, and we just moved them earlier in the month. So we're still working out the details, and I think that they will be available. I just want to make sure that we get everything set in stone before we announce. So we'll make an announcement on social media about who our guests will be next week, but I'm looking forward to it. It's, if it all works out, it's someone who is does a YouTube show that's really pretty awesome. So we will have some more information about that. And as for the film, that is also up in the air because when we do New Guest November, we typically let our guest help decide which film we're going to be discussing. So once we narrow everything down with our guest, we'll have the guest pick the film, and then we'll post on social media so you guys can follow along at home if you would like to. So looking forward to it. New Guest November is always fun. We always get some fresh blood here on Trick or Treat Radio, and I'm really excited. The first 2 weeks, we got some really good guests booked, so I'm really excited. And for the last 2, we have some invites and some discussions going on, but the other 2 aren't set in stone. So if you guys have any specific people that you'd like to see us reach out to or try to get on the show, let us know, and we'll try to make it happen. But like I said, we do have some irons in the fire, and we have some other guests that we're working on, so we'll see what happens with that. So we'll inform you guys on social media about who our guest will be and also what film we're going to be doing as soon as we narrow that down. So, but for now, we are going to take another break. We'll do a quick one here, and then we'll be back.
I won't be. I'm fucking out of here. I'm just...
What? You're going to miss?
No, the only reason I'm fucking... sir, Michael Myers is here.
Yes. Is
Once
he
this camera
well,
goes
he does
off-
know how to drive.
It's true. We already talked about
You
that.
catching a ride with Michael Myers?
No, I'm just running away from him.
Is this your Uber driver?
He just wants a friend.
I'm uber scared. I'm uber stank.
All right, we're going to head to a break. We'll be back, and we're going to wrap things up with some voicemails and some Halloween stories. We'll be back.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you got to check out Trick or Treat Radio.
All right. It's okay. We broke bread with Michael Myers. We're friends. He's
liked-
not going to kill anyone.
You
That
liked
we're.
my impersonation of him.
Would you do it again?
Hey, Bobby. Do I make horny, Bobby?
Wow, that sounds just like him. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Hey, Bobby, you want to shag?
Jesus Christ.
Do I make horny, Bobby? You're going down, boy.
With the Down Boys.
I wore my Down Boy shirt again the other day. I fucking love that thing. It's the most comfortable shirt I own.
Picture of Michael Myers is the best thing ever.
Don't make fun of him.
I'm not. I said it's the best thing ever. Holy shit. What a show. Michael Myers showed up.
Damn. He took on Halloween night of all nights. I mean, he took a night off of slashing and slaying.
I know, this is his biggest night of the year, and he's here
decided
hanging
to
out with
stop
us.
Here. Yeah, well.
That's a fucking amazing. All right, so we need to start wrapping things up. We do have some voicemail, though. And we also going to talk about some best and worst Halloween costumes. Let's hear from our awesome friends and listeners first, though, and then we'll fill in the blanks. We have kind of a mishmash here. We got some reviews. We got some thoughts about Halloween, I believe. But let's kick it all off with everybody's friend, Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here. Real sorry that it's been quite a while since I've been in touch. I don't know, you may not know, but, a while back I got ill, ended up having to go to the hospital, then to cut my stomach open, doctor had to reach inside and feel all my guts and staple me back up, and, general fun stuff, right? So, I'm kind of on the mend from all of that now, and I'm trying to catch up with everything that I've missed. So I'm still a tiny bit behind on the show. I'm still listening to the Night Comes For Us episode.
Nice.
But I figured I'd call in because I had been watching the films along. So Hold the Dark, amazing, treat, recommend. I loved it. Listening to your conversation, I actually do think it probably could be trimmed down a tiny bit. I can't think of anything in it that, I would want gone, but if the movie was just kind of, trimmed up a little bit and was, 5, 6, 8 minutes shorter, I probably wouldn't even notice, and it would probably move a little bit better. But still, overall, that is a fantastic, fantastic movie. The Apostle, also a treat and a recommend. I thought this was fantastic. I love the whole folk horror thing. And, it was something I'd been looking forward to. I heard about it probably about a month ago. And so it kind of lived up to what little I'd heard. And again, like I said, that is another treat and a recommend. The Night Comes For Us is just a superb action film. It's fantastic. It moves very quickly. As had been mentioned, all these films are in the 2 to 2 hour plus range. And that one, just because of the pace of the film, just kind of went by like nothing. I actually put it on really late one night, around 12:30, thinking, I'll probably watch the first hour and then pick it up in the morning, and next thing I knew, the movie was over. So, but it is another treat and another high recommend. So I was real excited about that. And I haven't gotten to watch this week's film yet. I believe it's The Dark. So I'm going to have to catch up on that for the next show. But, like I said, I'm on the mend. And so I'm able to catch up. I'm able to call back in. I hope you guys are all doing great. I'm really sorry I had to miss the show at Rock and Shock. As I had mentioned, I knew I wasn't going to most likely be at any of Rock and Shock convention-wise, but I was hoping to try to pop in, and I really was planning on at least heading straight up one evening for the concert and seeing you guys, but unfortunately it just didn't happen because it was actually that Thursday night right before Rock and Shock was when I had the surgery. So, but it looked like you guys had a lot of fun. It looked like everything went well. I was psyched to see all the pictures and everything online. So, I don't know. I hope everything went well. Hopefully, I'll be able to. You guys will release the live show panel, so I can check that out. And I was gonna say we should get in touch because it looks like I'm going to be out of work until the end of November because of this.
Ooh.
So maybe we can find a Wednesday where I got nothing going on and I can head on up there.
Yeah.
All right? So I'll talk to you guys soon, and hope you guys are all having a great Halloween, okay? Bye.
It's first guest November, but I just fucking show up all of them, Josh.
Yeah. Well, first of all, glad that you're on the men, Josh. I think we all saw his posts on social media about having his guts basically torn out. It looked horrible.
Pretty bad.
So we were pretty bummed we didn't get a chance to see you, obviously, but glad to hear that you're improving and that things are getting better. So keep it up, man. And always, we love hearing your thoughts on the films. And
he sounds like he's in good spirits, too. So that's always a positive.
Could be the morphine.
could be, could be, yeah. So we appreciate you leaving us a message, and we'll definitely be in touch, Josh. Let me know, and we'd love to have you on. I have an idea for the episode actually that we might have you on for, so we'll be in touch and we'll figure it out. So good to hear from you, buddy, and glad you're doing better. All right, now we're gonna hear from another Josh. I don't know which Josh could this be.
Osh gosh bagosh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys. This is Cromcast Josh.
Yeah!
I just wanted to send a voicemail and tell you about some things I've been listening to here recently, particularly old episodes of your show, Trick or Treat Radio.
Boy. Oh, no.
And I wanted to provide some commentary about that experience so far. I started way back with episode 1 and have made it up to about episode 8 or so.
Wow.
All against the advice of Mr. Dynamo Mars. But I gotta say, this stuff is funny, it's creative, and it's interesting to listen to where the show began, knowing where it is now. Hearing you guys find your podcast voice, find the show's style, hearing references that have been made even as recently as a few weeks back, it's all really cool, and so I appreciate that old stuff is still up. Wanted to say also that I've heard some episodes with Tiny White, and he and Mars are an awesome comedy duo. So more Tiny White, please.
Thank you.
I also just wanted to say that the comic book discussions that Raven Shadow provided way back then were really interesting and insightful, and it makes me wonder why he is the former comic book reading nerd. But I suppose if I keep listening, I'll find out the answer to that. And Monster Zero just seems to take abuse and roll with it. The thing I have in mind is the Evil Dead episode where he was prepared to talk about Evil Dead, but he got an earful about how Gothica is the best horror film of all time. And his response to that was nothing short of hilarious. So I appreciate that content is still available for folks to listen to. That's really cool. So thanks for that. And I wanted to ask about the CryptoCast. You guys make mention of it quite a bit. I know that it was, I guess, a YouTube show, but doing some searching on YouTube, I found that it's all private now. No one can watch it.
Yeah.
And so I was just wondering if the CryptoCast would ever make a comeback, or if those episodes would ever be made available, because I think it's a real shame that I missed out on that. You guys are super funny and super creative, and I'm sure that those CryptoCasts are something to see. So
it's something to see, all right.
I will leave you with one final thought, and that is your episode from last week. I was listening to it on my way home one day this week, and the petite asshole / anal flap segment of the show forced me to roll my windows up and made me laugh so hard I thought I was going to wreck. Anyway, happy Halloween, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you very much, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cromcast Josh. And before we get into that, everyone go check out the Cromcast. It is fucking awesome, and those guys do such a good job. They make us like if any of you guys think we sound smart ever at all, listen to their podcast and we'll sound like a bunch of dummies, because those guys are smart and they know their shit, and they talk about Robert E. Howard and Robert E. Howard adjacent stories and all kinds of great stuff.
Ixnay on the Jason day
Why?
with Michael Myers in the room day.
What?
He doesn't like to hear about Jason.
I said adjacent.
Yeah, and Freddy too, but he doesn't like to hear about any of those guys. Or Leatherfacey.
Yeah, Jason Voorhees.
Thanks for explaining the joke.
Well, I was
there.
MZ, thanks.
I was helping
Speaking of MZ, where the CryptoCast went.
Yeah, you want to talk about that, Mars? I think
Yeah.
you're...
So I did a deep... so I was kind of campaigning to get the CryptoCast back. And basically, to put it bluntly, I realized that Monster Zero talked about rape in every single episode. So we had to take them down.
No, we didn't take them down.
Yeah.
We made them private.
Yeah. So
because we're reevaluating what we want to do with them, because they came out in 2010, 2011, I believe.
It's been that long?
Yep. Big Scary Monster came out in 2012, and we were pimping those pretty early on.
So
yeah.
2000, yeah, about that time. So
in fact, when we recorded the first two,
yeah,
the second two,
oh,
the
one
first
of the
one
first
with Raven
one
Shadows in it, we were actually in another room recording Aquaphobic.
Well, I know one of the first ones was we had the the Black Vampires.
Right.
Bulk vampires.
Yeah, bulk vampires, and we were doing like kind of a promo swap thing. We're cutting promos on each other, and so that I remember that was one of the kind of first ones. So yeah, so I think that was the year that the Deadite show got snowed out.
Yep,
2000. Oh, yeah, you're right. We did a
12 maybe. We had a big press. Did
everything went right.
Everything went right except the show didn't happen because it snowed. So. Yeah, so that's kind of it. In this day and age, they and I know it's only a few years, but it just doesn't. It didn't age very well, and there's some stuff that might be a little bit embarrassing nowadays. And I don't know, like we wanted to take them all down, and it wasn't. I don't think it was a rash reaction or like an impulsive decision.
No, we talked about it for a couple of weeks.
We did talk about it, but it was right around the time of the James Gunn stuff. And I think that it was kind of like something, it was kind of fresh, and we're like, you know what, like let's just make these private for now.
And I'll be
we'll
honest,
reevaluate.
Not for nothing. And I said some, I'm not without my things that I probably ought to have said on there.
Sure, we all probably were guilty.
Like I'm on not talking about like a day job, like as a writer, I'm on the fucking market right now, like hardcore, like sending shit in all the time and doing stuff and like. I don't know, like it wasn't, I didn't, starting your career over at 40, I didn't need any help to not, to have setbacks.
Sure, if someone looks you up or
yeah,
whatever.
You know what I mean? Like I just, and I also felt like, I also felt like, and I'll take the blame, totally, and anybody else, like I don't know how you feel, Wolfie, I won't speak for you, but I felt like in our impulsiveness and the kind of euphoria of putting it up and having it exist and all the things that were funny, like they were just things that like just kind of slipped through that I said. And like I'll tell you, the only thing that ages well that doesn't work is Fabio Frizzi, because I feel like he had like this defined character that was supposed to be a bad guy.
He was like a heel.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a bad guy. Everybody else is supposed to be a good guy, but saying a bunch of fucking dumb locker room shit, and I just didn't think it.
Well, I think the idea of with us doing this show for the past 6+ years now, I think we've honed our characters in such a way that we can make it work if we do another.
Yeah, I agree.
CryptoCast.
I also talked about you for about 4 hours today.
Thank you.
And said the difference between Monster Zero in 2012. And believe you me, if you told me this in 2012, I would have said you are a dumb asshole, and that's not going to happen. But like watching you talk about politics and other stuff, and like your insightfulness and your being part of the larger community, and being way more sensitive is something that like I feel like you've really grown. So I feel like you wouldn't have done. In part, I think that Monster Zero in 2012, if you went and watched those, you would have been like, oh my God, look at the, I don't think you would have been immune to it. I think you would have been like, oh my God, look what I fucking said.
Yeah. I mean, the climate, the climate has changed in this world about
right. All sorts of things. It was never
about also. Yeah, you're right about all sorts of things.
But I mean, it hurt too because for everything that I said or somebody said that I didn't want to say, Raven Shadow said I'm gonna, monster hunting tip. But, punch a Lorax in the thorax, or like,
or Ares vampires, I tear their arms off. Was that it?
Yeah. So there was like some fucking funny shit in there, or like, I mean, Josh brought it up. There is some me and Tiny stuff on those that was completely off the cuff that I thought was brilliant. And I think we were actually just hitting our stride when schedules made us stop. We had the episode with the haunted dollhouse.
And, that one was fun.
Yeah, and we had all that stuff, and I think we were just getting there when, I think
audio podcast happened, and I didn't have time to do both, really.
I think at some point it will get there because I am nothing makes me want to do something more than fucking it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like if this podcast had crashed and burned at 30, I'd like want to do it more. Like now that it's at 300, I want to slip my wrist. But like the reality is that, and I think that's the thing. Like I think that everybody, I think we'd be this room anyway, I think would be like a mean green killing machine. Like, and I think it'd be cool.
Well,
but
one of us in the room will be.
Yeah, one of us would be a killing machine.
I mean, there was some good ones. I liked the one we went to MegaFest. That was a fun one.
I mean, there weren't, and here's the thing, there was only one in, there was two, right, in however many episodes they were, where where nothing made me laugh.
Yeah, they're like Sir Isaac is in some of them,
Yeah.
and we had a bunch of other guests and
some of the Cove stuff.
Sugar Duncan.
Yeah.
Sure. We had some Chikara wrestlers. Steve the Turtle.
Everything
Wiener.
with Raven Shadow and Jack Ketchum, like
that stuff's gold.
Like all that stuff. You know what I mean? There's only one episode.
Would bleeping some stuff out make it better, or is that like
Well,
I wonder
worse.
if it could be like even something like that could make it better. I don't know.
I mean,
because that would be easier than cutting it up
context wise. But I mean, I think it should exist in some way, and we'll figure out how to make it exist. But I'll tell you this: if not the CryptoCast, I think that I think in different times, what needs to happen. It's very similar to Tiny and I. What needs to happen is both Wolfie and I need to get a burr in our saddle at the same time. To kind of.
I don't want a burr in my saddle.
Yeah, you do.
You need one.
Well, that's you don't want it. That's why. That's what happens. You flip the burr out, and shit happens. Like it's not going to be like a thing like where we, where it's like a big planned thing. It's going to be like how this happened originally. It's going to be like be in front of your microphone at 7 p.m. and we're gonna go. Like sometimes we just gotta fucking make the leap and ruin our lives a little bit. So.
Well, I started to try to put together our Rock and Shock, I guess, episode. It's kind of like a CryptoCast, but there were so many different pieces of footage, and so the only thing I was able to, and also to render on my computer now takes probably about 4 times longer than it used to. So that is time prohibitive.
Right.
So, I did actually edit one thing. I don't know if you can see over here, Mars. So I edited the video of, I basically had this MZ telling the story of him almost dying. I took that clip, I took the good audio, edited it in, and put that together. And I was going to use that for the compilation video. So it's about 5 minutes from the live show that we did. Let me just play. I'll just play a couple seconds of it right here so you guys can see. I'll put the audio on too.
27, if I'm not
So
mistaken.
audio sounds good.
Yeah.
Got it all cleaned up.
He almost died.
Yeah, it was the time I almost died on the air.
Making
I
yourself
should know
laugh. Making yourself laugh.
So,
which, by the way, is something I'd like to see more of in 2000.
so it's about 5 minutes. So we got this clip ready to go. But the other stuff was, like, the thing is, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I don't like to put out anything that's like not great quality.
Right.
So for me, I want to edit it together and make it look fairly good. So it's not something I can do in like the
Right.
1 or 2 hours I have at the studio
Sure.
where I'm not producing podcasts.
And plus,
so
with it taking so long to do the back end, like
I could maybe try to do some stuff on my iPad. I have some editing software, but it's.
I mean, your iPad's bigger than mine, but it's and you're better at it than I am, but it's real tough. Like the new.
Well,
you know.
I mean, I've used the software's pretty good, but
Yeah. What I will say is that, we don't have any plans, but, if any wealthy philanthropists are out
yeah,
there,
want to fund it,
like
sure.
and like a new computer for the, Castle Wolfenstein will go a long way of being
Yeah.
able to get that stuff done. Because if you add Wolfie's perfectionism to the fact that it takes a long time for it to render and the audio to process and everything else, where that wasn't an issue before. It's just, there's only so many hours in a day. Like, trust me, there's nothing I want to do more than film all sorts of stuff. But it's tough. It's what I like about being able to go live. It doesn't look good. It doesn't always sound good. But it's like
But it
one
gets
and
the job
it's,
done.
it's one and done, and it's
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I do miss, like, I shouldn't even say it, but like, I have a fucking plan. I have an idea for some Diet Coach stuff that, like, I fucking lie in my bed at night and giggle about it. So, it's just, like, so much. But I think we can probably make that stuff selectively available, at very least, in the short term. But.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. If you ever have time, Mars, I can. Well, they're private, so I think I could send you links to them if you want to go through them.
Yeah.
we could unlock some of them, I guess. But we just figured it'd be better to, instead of watching 50 episodes and then deciding, pulling them down and then deciding and then adding them back. So
yeah.
Well, thanks, Josh, and interesting that you're going back and listening to the early days, and you can kind of see the growth, and it's interesting to go back and hear those because it's almost like a different show to me, even though like a lot of the ideas are there, like what we're trying to achieve. But it's just the energy of it is so different. I think it's mostly me because I became much like, even though I'd done radio stuff, like I became much more comfortable in this environment, and the live show helped out a lot because, before I think I was trying to be, Mr. NPR, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio, blah 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 blah, but now I feel the energy in the room, I feel the live chat, it's different and it's just more comfortable.
Yeah.
So
Raven Shadow sounded better than I
On his
remembered
flip
him
phone?
sounding.
Oh.
Well, there was a point. Like, I put one on, and I think it was you had got him the headset. So I think we were there.
Oh,
It sounded
yeah,
good. In that same episode, Monster Zero sounded worse than I can't even believe that. Like, you didn't kill him. Like that. There's this thing.
Well, I
there's
didn't know how much better it could be, I guess.
There's a bit that Sir Isaac does that I thought he fucked with it, but it's actually like how Monster
I
Zero
remember that one,
sounded.
yeah.
He's like, go, it's amazing.
No, I remember that. I remember.
So thanks, Josh, and if we do put some of that stuff back out there, we'll let you know. And like I said, everyone go check out the Cromcast. All right, so let's now hear from our good buddy FTM. We're going to hear what he thinks about The Night Comes for Us.
So Trick or Treat family, this is first time Mike had a chance to watch The Night Comes for Us, and holy crap, blood, guts, gushing. This movie made me go, oh my god, which very rarely happens these days, because not trying to sound jaded, but it takes a lot to shock me like some of the scenes in this one did. Just for the sheer use of colors and the flow of the fights. I mean, one scene had that hardcore Henry or whatever look, and the other one, like the first fight, reminded me of Tony John, the Protectors, or An Bach, and it's just like amazing. Totally, I mean, I should have just watched it as soon as you guys had your review because, oh my god, this movie was great. I mean, just from the sheer blood and the fight scenes, and I agree with Raven Shadow. White Boy Bobby is my boy, because that dude was awesome. And Kukris and Razor Wire. Oh, I could go on and on, but oh yeah. Happy Halloween too, guys. Gotta go.
All right, first time, Mike. I'm glad you loved it, man. That
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat the drum on that one until fucking.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing mediocre reviews for that. I mean, all the reviews I'm hearing and seeing on Letterboxd, on social media, everywhere, at least 4 or 5 stars. I mean, everyone's loving this movie.
Well, it just goes to show my theory that a lot of people think that the perforation that a bit of media gets is directly in correlation to the quality of it. But if that movie wasn't put out by Netflix, we would have loved it just as much, but no one would be talking about it. You know what I mean?
The thing is, everyone has access to
Right.
it. If it was in the theater, then you have to go to the theater, and it's not going to have the kind of groundswell that it has now. So that is the good thing about Netflix, is that even though they're not marketing it to people outside of Netflix, I think they're hoping that the people who are Netflix subscribers will beat the drum for them. I think that's sort of their marketing model. But it seems to be working, because people are finding out about it, which is great, because I want more films from Timo. I want more films like that. And I mean, man, that movie is fucking like beautiful brutality is like kind of like the best way to put it, I guess. So we got another one from First Time Mike, and he's going to talk about the topic at hand, Halloween costumes.
First time Mike again, guys. I just wanted to send my review of The Night Comes For Us as a separate one, because damn, that movie was good. Congratulations on your Sox winning the World Series.
Thank you.
If my Brewers would have been in there, I probably would have bet you guys something, but since it was the Dodgers, I was rooting for you guys.
I was hoping it was the Brewers.
And again, congratulations. As for the Halloween costumes, it's something I like to do at work. I didn't do it last year because the costume days fell on the days where I was off. But I have a pimp hat, I have a cane, I have some fake rings, and I have a couple of dollar signs and gold chains. And basically what I'll do is I will incorporate that with my work uniform. So I will walk around and ask customers if they need any help, dress up basically like a grocery store pimp. And I will help it. I will act perfectly normal and help a customer. And the fun is watching people try to keep from laughing or actually laughing when you're asking for help and just acting normal. It's just a fun thing to do, and I love wearing that costume. As Halloween winds down, what are you guys? What's your after Halloween plans? Are you guys gonna, edge off the horror movies for a bit and get into a different genre, or you kind of discombobulate from all the intense activities, especially this month for you guys with Rock and Shock and various Halloween festivities? So again, how do you guys unwind? This is your boy First Time Mike, wishing you all and everybody listening, hope you had a happy Halloween. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, First Time Mike. I love the grocery store pimp.
Yeah. Here, check out these marshmallows.
Why are you doing that voice? What is happening?
Fucking weird guy, man.
So yeah, no, that's that would be fun to see, going grocery shopping and seeing First Time Mike in a pimp outfit.
I'd buy food if that's the case.
Mars, why are you going live? We're already live right here.
How much more live can we be?
Yeah, this is fucking live Inception right now.
How
Jesus
much more live
Christ.
can you speed?
None more live.
None
Very
more.
attentive on videoing me right now.
Michael Myers, I think.
Yeah. It looks Michael Myers has got some pretty amazing patience, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's not every day that Michael Myers hangs out. I mean, you got to keep an eye on him, Raven Shadow. Don't look away.
I'm watching the monitor.
Okay.
The monitor, yeah.
It'll be too late if he pulls his knife
I
up.
know, it's
to
like Ares is
stab
not
you.
going to save us, as we know.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Ares, if you had an opportunity to kill Michael Myers right now, even though he's not necessarily threatening us,
Not posing a threat.
so you would not kill him
No,
if you had an opportunity.
If I had the opportunity, he's not posing an immediate threat.
Wow. I don't know. He's pretty fucking scary.
Chief of fucking security.
Mars is like he's like playing with his cat.
I don't know if he's in me in or not.
What the fuck? Mars,
What's your problem?
When you're wrecking the actual live show for another live show, it's fucking weird.
Michael Myers is looking
Yeah.
at you.
And you know what's even more weird? I'm watching
I don't think
it.
he is.
You're watching it?
I'm watching
No.
it.
Wait, let me record you watching him going live. How about that? How much more fucking meta can we get here? Jesus Christ.
I wanted a different angle of Michael Myers.
So you didn't have to go live?
Oh, I did. I did have to.
Oh, he's taking his pants. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God. Okay.
I am contractually obligated to go live 5 times a week.
So what else did First Time Mike say?
Yes, to our after Halloween.
Yeah,
plan.
how are we going to
How we
unwind?
come
I'd
down.
like to answer this question for the group.
Wow.
Because I
Go.
feel we all do the same thing. I feel we all turn into the Hallmark and start watching the Christmas movies.
Yes.
No.
No? I'm the only one?
Yes.
No, I'm gonna stay home and read some Dickens.
I
Minus the ends.
I end up in a weird position every Halloween this year again. There's a like New Japan show coming, and I need to catch up on a fucking
3rd.
shit ton of wrestling in between now and then. A bunch of New Japan shows, some Pro Wrestling Guerrilla shows, and a WWF women's pay-per-view. So I gotta like what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow is watching wrestling all day. I think
You're not
just
going to be
catch up.
watching Crown Jewel?
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Fuck that wrestling show.
I might watch the Australian one though. I've heard there's some good matches on there, but it's not a priority.
So as for
Maybe
I mean
Chris Jericho will pop out of a cake. Maybe that's Chris Jericho.
maybe it is. He's gonna take his mask off. MZ, I'm curious because you obviously you watch like horror all year round. So do you do anything different after October?
No.
He's gonna watch Trick or Treat again tomorrow.
Are you kidding? His 31 list was just movies he would have watched
anytime?
anytime.
Yeah.
He like totally missed the point of like logging
No.
31.
Well,
didn't
everyone
miss the
can,
point.
can
Everybody-
interpret it however they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just would have watched those movies anyway.
I've
No,
seen.
it's like I said before. Some of those movies are movies that I haven't watched in a long, long time, and
Yeah, since April.
yeah, right. No, like I watched the movie Absurd. I haven't watched that movie in like 7 years, 8 years. You know, things like that. So.
I watched only
And,
two.
and as far as Trick or Treat goes, that was my movie for tonight. I saved that every Halloween. So
Yeah, I mean that was I do have 2 Halloween traditions that make it on my list that break my rule, and that's I watch the Halloween that almost wasn't in Garfield Halloween every year, right on Halloweenish.
Well, one thing, and this isn't necessarily a direct answer to First Time Mike's question, but I'm actually, for the first time ever, I think I'm going to take the week of Thanksgiving off, and I'm just going to just kind of take it easy and probably catch up on some stuff. I got Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've cracked open, haven't had a chance to even play yet. So I'd like to play that, and House on Haunted Hill is I want to catch some of that. There's a bunch of movies that I want to catch up on, and just maybe do some other stuff. So for me, there's not something I do all the time, because most of the time in October I'm so busy that I don't get to do like a ritual, and I don't really get to watch very many movies. So for me, like I don't do 31 days. I just could never keep up. There's no way I'd be able to do it. So I don't really do anything different. I just gonna try to catch up on some stuff is really my thing. So, anyone else? Raven Shadow, you gonna drink some beer?
Yeah. Yeah, probably gotta.
Samurai Night.
Yeah, no, I got so much shit on my fucking DVR, man. I gotta finish a bunch of Marvel shit.
Oh, I want to watch
Netflix
the
stuff.
Titan show as well.
Yeah, Titan show. I got Black Lightning started. Legends of Tomorrow.
Actually, I don't know if it's up to date, but all that stuff's on the DC Universe streaming app.
Is it really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like the most recent episodes or if it's like the previous season. I don't know how they do it, but that stuff is available. So
I'm watching the Mayans. Like that.
The Mayans.
Yeah, it's a Sons of Anarchy spinoff.
Oh yeah. Is Charlie Hunnam's ass in it?
I wish. No, but they have like a Latino Charlie Hunnam. He's pretty much like the same dude, and he's already a BSO.
What?
Butt show off. A la Shawn Michaels.
He's just a sexy boy.
Yeah, he is.
Latino Charlie Hunnam. Got it. All right.
I got Mega Man for Christmas, and I haven't played it yet.
Which
So
one?
The one that has 1 through 5 on it.
Oh, I got you.
may do that.
Compilation.
I can't. The fucking NES game costs like $80. So.
Yeesh.
Yeah, who wants that?
All right, we got 2 more voicemails. Let's get through these.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Let's hear from Leanna.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry to say I'm not going to be able to watch your show tonight because it's Halloween.
You watch some.
But because of the holiday, I wanted to leave my opinions on the new Halloween movie. I bet you haven't heard a review from me in a long time, but
No.
here it is. What is my opinion on Halloween 2018? Simple. It's the best Halloween sequel. Again, best Halloween sequel. It is not better than the first movie. Nothing was ever going to be better than the first movie because that first movie is incredible. But it is the best of the sequels. And there's a very good reason for that. In fact, several reasons. For starters, Laurie Strode in her entirety. I loved Jamie Lee Curtis's acting. I loved her character arc. I love that we have this older female protagonist given this arc that's usually given to male characters. I love the harrowing portrayal of PTSD. I even love the family drama because it's so believable. Like, of course this woman would have trouble connecting with her family when she lost some of the closest people in her life at such a tender age to something that can't be described or explained, to Michael Myers. This film also has some of the best kill scenes in this series. I will not spoil any of those kill scenes because you have to see them. You have to look at the way Michael kills in this movie. If you ever had a doubt that Michael Myers was an evil piece of shit, this movie will bash it out of you. I really enjoy the cinematography in this movie as well. The tracking shot went during the trick-or-treating scene. Everything in that house, in Laurie Strode's house, very, very well shot movie. Whoever was director of cinematography deserves a rousing applause for this movie. The score. God, John Carpenter once again outdoes himself with this score, the opening title score alone. Great. Brilliant. Some of the things I didn't like about this movie. The twist was easily predicted. Really predicted. Every time that twist was brought up in the movie or hinted at, I knew it was going to happen. I feel like the cast was a bit stuffed. There were too many characters, not enough time to develop them. And that's really my biggest problems with the movie. Anyways, happy Halloween.
Thank you, Leanna. I think that was a good review, and I think I agree with a lot of what she had to say. Whether you consider Halloween 3 a sequel or not, that I guess that's. Do you consider it a sequel, MZ?
When it's fully explained as to why they went in the direction that they did,
yeah,
then yes, it is a sequel.
Because to me, I think that is still my favorite of the series, and I think it would go
mine.
that Halloween 1. Actually, I haven't seen Halloween 2 in a long time, so I'd have to rewatch that to see where it sits. But I think Halloween 28.
Jesus H. Christ.
That was weird. Fucking Michael Myers is running amok.
Jesus Christ, Raven Shadow.
Oh, man.
He's knocking
Pizza over. Fuck. So,
Can't take
yeah,
you anywhere.
I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of it in a while. So,
Yeah.
Where's the new one sit for you, Mars? I know we talked about it a little bit last week.
It is. I'd say it's third. I like Halloween 3, Halloween
yeah.
2018,
All right.
Halloween 2, Rob
yeah.
Zombie's Halloween.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
No, Rob Zombie's. So my full list is Halloween 3, Halloween 2018, Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween, Halloween 4, H2O, Halloween 5, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and Curse of Resurrection are kind of fighting for
I wonder if Michael Myers agrees with you. Do you?
I mean, I like them all. I don't really like 3 too much at all, actually.
We got the big thumbs up for Michael Myers. Oh, he gave you a little knife tip.
Yeah, thanks.
What was that? He tip of his knife.
A tip of the knife to you, my
Tip of the
friend.
knife to you.
All right. Is that the last voicemail? 'Cause
No!
I gotta go.
Yeah, we're gonna speed this up.
What the fuck? If you guys didn't fucking argue for 20 minutes about nothing.
These guys argued.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry. We can drag this out.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to argue?
Fucking Monique and Unique over here.
What, are you off tomorrow?
No.
I am, but the fucking furnace person's coming.
This first
Coiney's coming up?
Aries?
No.
Doug Furness? Where's Phil LaFon?
I don't know.
All right, let's hear, finally, wrap it up with Dynamo's son. He's back in the will, I think.
Thank you.
Pabst.
Hey guys, Paps, just calling in. First off, I want to say that I've been listening to the Halloween episode that you guys just released, and I would most definitely like to hear you guys do more trivia type stuff like that. Yeah, definitely enjoying the what is it? Keeping it real, I think.
Keeping it real.
Good time. All right. Second, just a final update on my month of horror, number 25. I watched Elementary. I think it's also called Blacksmith and the Devil. Movie got added to Netflix.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw it was up there.
I really liked it. I love that chickpeas play
It was produced by Alex de la Iglesias.
a big part of it. I fucking love chickpeas, and I thought the creature effects in it looked really cool. Fun, enjoyable movie. Dig it. 26, I watched Hereditary, and I really love that movie. It was one of my favorite movies of this year. It was really nice getting a chance to rewatch it and kind of picking up on little stuff in the background and little things that they hint at, and I just, definitely love that movie. 27, I watched Paranorman. Again, absolutely love that movie. I love everything that Leica Studio has done. Coraline, Box Trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings, but I think Paranorman is most definitely their best, and it is just absolutely fantastic. 28, I watched Rawhead Rex, and Rawhead Rex is Rawhead Rex. I mean, I love it. I think it's great. The fucking baptism scene,
Yeah.
I love that Clive Barker fucking denounces that movie and like just hates it, but I think it's a good time. 29, I watched Trick or Treat, one of the best anthologies ever, I'd say, other than Creepshow. It was really nice to rewatch this. I haven't seen it in a while, and definitely dig this one. Number 30, whether or not you think this counts, whatever. I watched Happiness at the Katakuris. Really
love that movie.
fantastic. One of my favorite Takashi Miike films. I love the weird like Jan Svankmajer kind of claymation stuff in the beginning, and just how like the musical numbers just like coming out of nowhere and just super silly and fun. And then finally tonight I just watched Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which I think is one of the most underrated Halloween movies. I think it would have been really cool if they had kind of continued and done the Halloween movies in that sort of anthology-ish kind of where like each one would be a different story. So that's it. Looking forward to listening. I hope you guys had a great Halloween, and I want to know if you guys watched something special this month in October other than what you watched for the show. All right, and have a good night and peace.
Thanks, Pabst, and thanks for updating us. It was interesting to hear what you checked out on your 31 days of Halloween, and it seems like you did some pretty cool stuff there. It's got some rewatches, some first-time watches, so some good stuff there, buddy. Thanks for keeping us up to date. I loved hearing about it.
My 31 days was fucking rough this year.
You did. You added some specials in there.
Well, I always do, because
Yeah.
I a few years ago, my future ex-husband Michael Koopman showed me the
Future
way.
ex-husband.
Yeah, so I'll marry him and then divorce him.
He'll
Fuck
divorce you mean?
Either way. You say
Or
tomato.
kill him for the insurance money.
You say tomato, I say prenup. But the at the end of the day,
Post-op.
At the end of the day, I watch horror movies all year round. At Halloween, I like to watch movies about Halloween.
There you go.
So, but yeah.
Anyone else? Paps ask, if there's anything else besides the show that you watched that
Hell House
LLC
was really good, and also
Did you watch the sequel?
not yet. Terrified, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Terrified. Yeah,
That movie is fucking Silent Hill CSI. That movie's fucking terrifying. No pun intended. So I like that a lot.
Cool. I didn't watch too much, so I can't really.
Actually, can I mention a movie I watched that I fucking adored completely? I know we gotta go. But I watched this on Saturday. It's called The Fall by director Tarsem. I believe he directed The Cell with Jay Lopes and D'Onofrio and Vince Vaughn.
On Shudder right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that again, but this movie is fucking...
Is this the one with Gillian Anderson?
No,
Okay.
no.
This is a TV series.
Yeah, no, it's it was presented by David Fincher and Spike Jonze, so I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's kind of a dark Princess Bride with some touches of Wizard of Oz. And what's kind of fascinating about it is that it was made over the course of 4 years and over the course of 14 different countries. So there's a lot of really widely exotic lands in this that are fucking real. Like there's a blue city and it's fucking blue. It's really crazy, and it's one of those things where it's set before the talkie start. So it's opens up on a failed stuntman who jacked up his back in an accident. He's in a hospital, and he befriends this girl who also broke her arm. And they develop a friendship, and over the course of their interactions, he tells this girl a fantastic story. Now, his motivations for telling her the story, well, that's kind of where the darkness comes into play. But he weaves a web and an epic tale of adventure, and it's one of those things, much like Low Life and Train to Busan. I want action figures based on the heroes in this film. But definitely a lot more gore than Princess Bride. I can't recommend it enough.
It's funny, Tarsem Singh, who directed the movie you're talking about, also directed, I don't know if you knew this, Mars, he directed the Losing My Religion video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember from when he
really?
directed The Fall. That was the...
Yeah,
not The Fall.
The Cell
The
was
Cell.
his big breakthrough, yeah, because he did shorts and documentaries and music videos up to that point. He did a Suzanne Vega video and Vogue, R.E.M.
Oh, shit.
Vanessa Paradise.
Yeah, she is. But yeah, I can't recommend this look enough. I watched it completely blind.
He did Emerald City, that TV series.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was kind of curious about that. I didn't realize he was in on that.
Yeah, I think the biggest name in this is Lee Pace. He was on the show Pushing Daisies.
Well, Lee Pace...
Pushing Daisies.
Yeah.
He also played... Lee Pace played the villain in Guardians of the Galaxy. What was his name?
Oh, he was
Ronan.
Ronan.
Ronan, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no shit.
And he played another character in one of the Hobbits. Yeah, he played Thranduil.
Everybody was in those fucking Hobbit movies.
But yeah, check it out. I fucking adored it. It's good shit.
Cool. Yeah, I've never seen it. It looks interesting. Is it very surrealistic?
Oh,
would you
yeah,
say?
yeah.
Like maybe Jodorowsky influence?
I mean, I've not really seen Jodorowsky films. I know Jodorowsky's doing it. You guys talking about him, but
You should watch some Jodorowsky, man.
yeah, it'd be nice. Why don't you come over?
No.
I'm off. I have Thursday and Friday after and Thanksgiving weekend. Why don't you come over and
But Thursday is Thanksgiving.
No, Wednesday is.
Are you?
No, you're right. It is.
No,
Right, yeah.
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't get suckered into this, man. Let's call it a night. Come on. Don't get suckered into this. Otherwise, we'll be here for another hour talking about it.
Thanksgiving is on a Wednesday.
That's 'cause I was concerned about the show. I mean, we have to record on Tuesday. But no.
You suck. Because you know nothing but a user of your love. I told that enough.
All right, so what we'll do is when we go around and say goodbye, everyone will say either a best and or worst Halloween costume, whether it's something you've done or something you've seen. How about that? So first off, a big thanks to Michael Myers.
Hey, baby.
First of all, for not killing us. And second of
Because
all,
he thought I did a good impersonation.
for gracing us with his presence on Halloween night.
You want a shag, baby?
He doesn't like that.
Hey,
I don't
baby.
think he likes that. He's probably gonna pull out his knife if you say that again.
Let's hope.
Tip of the knife to you. So, Raven Shadow, if you would put the mic up to Michael Myers. I just want to hear what he has to say before he says goodbye. So, let's hear from the man right now. Oh, interesting. Powerful stuff from Michael Myers.
I think he's got asthma.
Give him an inhaler, please.
Like Chris Puffer.
You know, it's funny. He breathed fine before he had to sit next to Raven Shadow for a few.
Yeah, he has been next to Raven Shadow for like an hour now.
That's how you get rid of slashes.
All that nicotine he's inhaling.
So big thanks to Michael Myers for coming in. All right, let's MZ say goodbye and then a costume.
All right. Well, my favorite costume that I've seen.
The Bible.
No. No, that was my worst. But the best costume I've seen happened to be this year from my friends Jill and Greg of Licks Online. And they portrayed Mother and Phoenix from Santa Sangre.
Ooh.
And it's
That's
spectacular.
Jodorowsky, Raven Shadow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alejandro Jodorowsky's Santa Sangre, where they portrayed as Mother and Phoenix.
Yep.
And where the mother's the arms, they're gone, and Phoenix uses his arms to become her arms. So he has to stand behind her the entire time. And he's got knives in his hands and everything like that. It's really sweet. You got to I'll have to try and find it and post it on Trick or Treat Radio on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty outstanding.
Cool. Say goodbye.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, Aries.
The worst costume for me was a few years back. I tried to just dress up as a general redneck type person, and unfortunately, I ended up looking like someone who used to work at the bar I worked at and was arrested for a child molesting. So that costume didn't go over too well that night at the bar.
Oh, wow.
Or the school.
Michael Myers doesn't like child molesters, by the way. He's looking at you.
He's fucking pissed.
So that was probably a big downfall, and I had actually trimmed my beard for that costume, so it wasn't like something I could just take a shirt off and make it go away. So that was probably my biggest faux pas.
That's poor judgment. Yeah,
yes,
that's bad.
I hadn't realized what I was doing. So yes, goodbye.
All right, Raven Shadow.
My favorite costume of mine was 1982 and/or 83. I feel it was 82. My grandmother made me a Pac-Man costume out of cardboard. And I was able to fit in it. And my head was inside the mouth.
You could fit in anything.
Well, this one because it was when I was smaller back then. It was really, really cool. And she had felt around it, and it was like I was fucking Pac-Man. I wore little black tights. It was nice. So you couldn't see me at dark. And I won the prize at the VFW Hall.
Oh, what'd you win?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, something.
Say
That was
goodbye.
Awesome. Bye-bye. Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
Marsman.
I, one year, was Indiana Jones, and my dad made me a whip, and it was awesome. And then years later, I used that whip to choke out the Nomad, a.k.a. Tiny White, in an LWA match and got disqualified. But yeah, so I was Indiana Jones. Once the worst costume that I ever had was I wanted to have this, like, scary... I'm obsessed with these type of masks anyway, but there was the vinyl costume. You know, you get the whole vinyl thing, and it was like a werewolf thing. And for some reason, the bad paint job on the front of the mask, like, made my eyes green.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like a fucking bad ring. Like like I took it off, and like it was I took it off my grandma. I thought, like, I would have thought I was really a werewolf. Like, I took it off my grandma. It was like, so yeah, it scared me.
Say goodbye.
I'm gonna go out here and get torn up. Remember, children, wherever you go. Happy Halloween, you fucking ball sacks.
Wow. So for me, I guess the best costume I've done, maybe, and Raven Shadow remember this, and maybe MZ.
Oh, yes, I do already.
And it was probably the one I put the most effort into was when I did Golden Age Sandman.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
And so got found a coat, basically the whole thing. I borrowed a paint gun. I think it was a paintball. I don't know. And it looked sort of similar, and got the mask and everything. And so, yeah, I could probably still pull that off. I need the hat and probably new clothes now. But yeah, that was fun doing that one. And my worst one, which was also probably at the time, I felt like it was fucking badass, but I was a ninja one year, and for a mask, did you guys ever do the T-shirt trick where you make a ninja mask out of a T-shirt?
Yeah, like El Nino.
Yes, exactly. So I did that, and it wasn't very good, but I enjoyed it at the time. And actually, my brother Psycho Patrick one year, I think it was my mom that made him like a huge. He wanted to be a robot, and it was the same year I did the ninja. So he's 5 years younger than me. He must have been like 7 or something like that. And so he had this huge like cardboard like robot sort of suit that was all like silver and was pretty cool. Can you imagine Psycho Patrick?
Would they use a refrigerator box for
well,
him?
at this time he was like 7, so yeah, he wasn't quite 7 feet tall. He was probably more like 6 feet tall at 7. No, he wasn't that big, but yeah, that was fun. So, all right, well that is it. It was a fun Halloween episode. We got to hang out with Michael Myers. He's brandishing his knife at us, and I'm really scared right now. Holy shit!
He's ready to stab.
It is time to go. So next week, as I said, we have a guest that we will announce during the week, and also we'll announce the movie. It's still to be determined right now, but we'll let you guys know what we're up to. And we got some other cool guests coming up in November for New Guest November. So, whew. All right. Well, that is going to do it. So thank you, everyone who tuned in, and thank you for watching episode 327 and or listening to it. And we will see you guys next week.